Chapter 2451. When Qin Yun saw Emperor Yi's reaction, he knew that the White Sun Bloodline Heavenly Pattern box was still in his hands. "Brother Yi, have you seen this box before?" Qin Yun pretended to be pleasantly surprised and hurriedly asked. "This box is amazing. If you know where it is, you must tell me." I have seen it before. The Heavenly Emperors have been searching everywhere for it. He sent me here to find the Purple Sun Elf race's Emperor and obtain the box from him. The Purple Sun Elf Emperor's box is purple and yours is blue, but they look the same. Emperor, he said. "So that's how it is." Qin Yun frowned and said, "What did the Heavenly Emperors promise you? As long as I obtain the purple box, he will give me 1 desolation and 1 divine sun." Emperor Yi still stared at the box in Qin Yun's hand and asked again, "Brother Morong, what is the use of this box? I know it is very powerful. Otherwise the Heavenly Emperors would not be so anxious." Qin Yun sneered and said, "The Heavenly Emperors want to use 1 desolation and 1 divine sun to exchange for this box? What wishful thinking. Brother Yi, you don't know how important this box is, right?" How important?" Emperor Yi is now excited and trying his best to restrain himself. "This is a Bloodline Heavenly Pattern. The full name should be 9 Heavens Bloodline Heavenly Pattern. There are a total of 9 of these boxes, and the 9 Heavens Bloodline Heavenly Pattern sealed inside can create another 9 heavens. Create another 9 heavens." Emperor Yi said in shock. "The current 9 heavens is not a complete 9 heavens. A complete 9 heavens is incomparably powerful. 1 heaven is 1 9 Earth 10 divine sun. Of course, as for how to operate it, it will take a long time to comprehend." Qin Yun said, 1 heaven 9 Earth 10 divine sun? Isn't this better than 1 desolation and 1 divine sun? Emperor Yi said in shock. He was very unhappy because the Heavenly Emperors actually used 1 desolation and 1 divine sun to send him away. There is no comparison at all. Let's put it this way. Heavenly Emperors and divine desolation are 1 heaven plus 1 divine sun. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. "If I had a bloodline heavenly rune in my hand, I would have my own 9 heavenly runes. Earth 10 divine suns." Emperor Yi took a deep breath and said, "It seems that bloodline heavenly patterns are really important. Brother Morong, are you going to use this box to break the formation?" Bloodline heavenly patterns contain supreme heavenly patterns that can be used to break formations. I can't guarantee whether or not I can break the heavenly sword formation, so I want to give it a try," Qin Yun said, and then poured in his imperial heaven divine power into the bloodline heavenly pattern box. In an instant, an incomparably shocking blue light burst out from the box, causing everyone to feel as if they were immersed in a blue ocean. It was as if they were enveloped by waves of vast heavenly might, and even breathing became slightly difficult. Luo Yaofeng was also astonished. She never expected Qin Yun to be able to activate a tiny bit of the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern's power. The Bloodline Heavenly Pattern was still sealed in the box, but it was able to release such a terrifying power. If his Bloodline Heavenly Patterns were unsealed, how powerful would it be? Emperor Yi, the White Sun Fairy Emperor, is also wild with joy. Even though his eyes are hurting from the intense light, he still opened his eyes wide and stared straight at the box in Qin Yun's hand. He could see that the bloodline like runes on the surface of the box. Every time it flowed, it would release a very powerful heavenly might. It was as if the heavens were revolving, as if he could see the veins of the heavens. It was extremely shocking. Soon, Qin Yun stopped, and the bloodline heavenly pattern box returned to its original appearance. "I didn't succeed," Qin Yun sighed lightly. "Brother Morong, why is your box able to cause such a huge commotion? I've seen the Purple Sun Fairy Emperor's box before. There was no commotion from his box." Emperor Yi asked. He did not care if Qin Yun broke the heavenly sword formation or not. He only asked about the box. "I've been studying for 10,000 years before I managed to pry open the first layer of the seal. This is a very powerful 9 heaven seal. There are a total of 9 layers. As long as I break the first layer, I can cause such a commotion. Qin Yun laughed self-deprecatingly. I'm still too weak. My current strength is not enough to open the second layer of the seal. So that's how it is. Then how can I open the first layer of the seal? Emperor Yi continued to ask. He did not reveal that he has the box. Luo Yaofeng and Bai Suxin are watching from Qin Yun's side. They know that Emperor Yi has taken the bait, so they became even more vigilant to prevent Emperor Yi from attacking. This requires a very high-level inscription battle technique. While speaking, Qin Yun's finger quickly slid across the void and carved a set of very complicated runes in the void. Seeing those runes, Emperor Yi and the few divine heavenly lords beside him praised incessantly. They're actually heavenly runes. Brother Morong's inscription battle technique has truly broadened my horizons. Emperor Yi is truly astonished by Qin Yun's inscription battle technique, because those were just casually drawn by Qin Yun. If he had drawn them seriously, they would have been even better. Qin Yun said with smile, Brother Yi, if you obtain this kind of box, you must not give it to the heavenly venerables. Keep it by your side. If you can break it, you will be the creator of the heavens. This, Brother Morong, I have a box in my hand, but I don't know if it is the bloodline heavenly pattern box or not. Emperor Yi seems to have made a great decision and said, Oh, can you let me take a look? I have researched bloodline heavenly runes for 10 to 20,000 years. I am very familiar with them. Qin Yun said, If I break the first seal, how much strength can I increase? Emperor Yi asked. He is trying his best to restrain the excitement in his heart. Even his voice is trembling. As the White Sun Fairy Emperor Yi has been stuck at the Divine Heavenly Lord stage for many years. He has never been able to see any hope of breaking through. If he doesn't break through, he will die of old age sooner or later. It's hard to say. My bloodline heavenly pattern box can only increase my inscription level. This mainly depends on Brother Yi's direction of development. Qin Yun said with smile. This situation is similar to the formation of Tao image. Emperor Yi suddenly took out a small white box. Its shape and size are exactly the same as the blue box in Qin Yun's hand. It is just that the color is different. Even the veins and runes on the surface give people the same feeling, ancient, mysterious, filled with Tao charm, completely natural. This is a bloodline heavenly pattern box. Bloodline heavenly rune is sealed inside. Because bloodline heavenly rune is very powerful, it can make the box give birth to bloodline heavenly rune. Qin Yun said with smile. Congratulations, Brother Yi. Congratulations, Brother Yi. You will be the person who creates heaven. Brother Morong, if I didn't meet you, I wouldn't have known that this is a 9 heavens bloodline heavenly pattern. Emperor Yi's face showed a hearty smile and said, Brother Yi, you have this box. There is no need for you to lower your voice to the heavenly sovereigns. I suspect that the heavenly divine desolate was created by something similar to the 9 heavens bloodline heavenly pattern. Your future strength and achievements will definitely be above it. Brother Morong, can you help me break the first seal of the box? Emperor Yi asked. I can't guarantee it. Different boxes have different ways of breaking them. Qin Yun shook his head and said, Brother Yi, it is best for you to comprehend it yourself. This will allow you to better control your bloodline heavenly pattern. But I don't understand it. Emperor Yi said with sigh. He has been trying to comprehend it for tens of thousands of years, but he didn't see any signs of success. How about I try using my bloodline heavenly pattern box to break the seal of your box? Brother, you just need to control the box to float. Qin Yun said. Emperor Yi promptly moved back a distance, and then controlled his bloodline heavenly pattern box to float. Qin Yun made his box float, then poured an imperial heaven divine power into it. At the same time, he took out a teleportation pearl. Qin Yun's box is the same as before. It released intense blue light. It is even stronger than before, causing Emperor Yi's eyes to be pierced and unable to see anything clearly. Qin Yun activated the teleportation pearl and controlled the heaven locking chain at the same time. It nimbly flew over and wrapped around the box in front of Emperor Yi, then vigorously pulled it over. At the same time, the teleportation pearl opened. Qin Yun, Luo Yaofeng, and Bai Suxin arrived at the east side of the Heavenly Sword Formation in a flash. After arriving at the east side of the Heavenly Sword Formation, Qin Yun looked at the two boxes in his hands and said with mischievous smile, "We succeeded. Let's hurry up and enter the Heavenly Sword Formation." Bai Suxin is also very happy. She pulled Qin Yun and Luo Yaofeng and immediately rushed into the Heavenly Sword Formation. It is also at this moment that they heard Emperor Yi's heart-wrenching and lung-splitting angry roar from the north side. When Emperor Yi saw that Qin Yun and company have disappeared, he knew that he has been deceived and screamed crazily. Luo Yaofeng and Bai Suxin are laughing nonstop. Qin Yun is also laughing inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. If I were the White Sun Fairy Spirit Emperor, I would definitely be angered to death. Luo Yaofeng giggled and said, "My husband, you are too good at deceiving people. Tell me honestly, how many ignorant women have you deceived? Why would I need to deceive? Have I ever deceived you and Little Queen?" Qin Yun said with mischievous smile, "Little Queen's performance is pretty good. I thought that when the White Sun Fairy Emperor talked about your father, you would be angry." Luo Yaofeng pulled Bai Suxin's hands and said with smile, "Xiaoyan wants to trick my father's box back. Of course I have to cooperate," Bai Suxin said with a charming smile. Luo Yaofeng lied on Qin Yun's back and asked very seriously, "Brother Yun, is that 9 heavens 10 divine suns real? And becoming a heaven creator or something?" "It's fake, I made it up." Qin Yun spread his hands and said with smile, "Of course, becoming a heaven creator is possible. All right, I almost believed it." Luo Yaofeng said with smile, "Fortunately, you were able to make that box react. Only then did those idiots completely fall into your scam." Bai Suxin said with smile, "Yuan Mei and Yu Qing said that you used to take them everywhere to swindle people. I really didn't expect you to be such an honest Qin. To be honest, I also don't know how to use this bloodline heavenly rune, nor do I know how to break the seal." Qin Yun said, "This seal really has 9 layers. I didn't lie to Brother Yi about this. Brother Yi must be so angry that he vomited blood." Luo Yaofeng laughed again. "Brother Yun, you already have 4 boxes in your hands. You have to quickly figure out what's going on so that you can become stronger." Chapter 2452. Previously, Luo Yaofeng was very unwilling to tell Yushang Yun, mainly because he was afraid that Yushang Yun would oppose her giving the box to Qin Yun and bring danger to him. But now, Qin Yun already has 4 bloodline heavenly pattern boxes. The situation is different from before. What do you guys think? Luo Yaofeng looked at Qin Yun and then looked at Bai Suxin. "Why can't we tell Sister Shang Yun?" Bai Suxin felt nothing wrong and said, "Since bloodline heavenly pattern is so important, we should discuss it with her." "I think so," Qin Yun said with smile. "I already have 4 boxes. Even if Sister Shang Yun is worried that I will be in danger, she can't say anything. Who told me to get so many?" Luo Yaofeng stuck out his tongue and said, "All right, stop the heaven-leaping shuttle. I will call her over." Qin Yun stopped the shuttle and floated in the air. A crescent moon mark appeared on Luo Yaofeng's forehead. It is something that can contact the divine moon race within a short distance, mainly through soul fluctuations. And outside, Emperor Yi's angry shouts could still be heard from time to time. Emperor Yi was swindled away by Qin Yun, and he doesn't know Qin Yun's true identity. He also doesn't know how to find this Murong Failong. He still feels that Murong Failong is really from the White Sun Divine Realm and is related to the White Sun Divine King. Damn Murong Failong, I will definitely find you, torture you for 100 years, and then tear you to pieces. Emperor Yi crazily attacked the Heavenly Sword Formation and shouted malevolently. An old man beside Emperor Yi asked, "Great Emperor, should we inform the Emperorians about this?" The few divine heavenly lords around Emperor Yi are all loyal and devoted. They would never betray him. Clearly, Emperor Yi used all kinds of methods to make them sign a soul contract to bind them. Otherwise, with Emperor Yi's character, it is impossible for him to have trustworthy people around him. Don't ever tell the Emperorians. This guy's always been looking for that box. He knows I have it, but I didn't give it to him, and my box was swindled away. He will definitely be very angry. Maybe he will kill me. Emperor Yi calmed down and warned. Don't tell anyone about this. Even if he was deceived, Emperor Yi could only grit his teeth and bear with it. Grand Emperor, is there really a bloodline heavenly pattern sealed inside the box? Asked a middle-aged divine Sky Lord. I don't believe a word that bastard said. He had two beauties with the strength of Shun Tianjun by his side, yet he did such a despicable thing. What was his background? Sovereign Yi's anger rose again. He came with a purpose. The only one who knows that you have the box is the White Sun Divine King. The old man said, if we want to know who he is, we can only go find the White Sun Divine King. I wonder where God King White Sun has gone to. The reason I could suppress him in the past was mainly because my heaven seal was stronger than his. Now that we're in deity wilderness, our heavenly seals are useless. It won't be easy for me to defeat him. Sovereign, he shook his head. We're not here to pick a fight with him. We're here to ask him about the situation. Perhaps God King White Sun has also been tricked by him, said the middle-aged divine heaven lord. All right, then go find the White Sun Divine King. Sovereign, he thought about it and felt that this was the only way to break through. I'll go back and rest as well. This time, I didn't get a box and even lost one. Sovereign, he angrily punched the ground, creating a large amount of sand and dust on the desert, leaving behind a huge crater. Then, he flew away from the Sword Forest Desert. Inside the heaven-leaping shuttle, Qin Yun did not take off his white hair and white eyebrows attire. He originally wanted to take it off, but Luo Yaofeng told him not to. He wanted to tease Yu Shangyun when she came. Yu Shangyun came very quickly. When Luo Yaofeng contacted her, he said that there was a very important and urgent matter. He also said that Qin Yun was also here, so she hurried over. After entering the heaven-leaping shuttle, Yu Shangyun took off her helmet. Her originally gentle and moving face was filled with cold arrogance and seriousness. However, the wondrous fragrance on her body contradicted her cold, arrogant, and domineering temperament. Sister Shangyun. Luo Yaofeng walked over with a smile and held Yu Shangyun's lily-white hand. Is there something important? Yu Shangyun also knew that Luo Yaofeng and Bai Suxin had an extremely good relationship with Qin Yun and often worked together. Yu Shangyun looked at Qin Yun. She believed that the important matter was definitely related to Qin Yun. Qin Yun did not say anything else. Instead, he immediately took out the 4 boxes and placed them on the table. When Yu Shangyun saw the 4 boxes, her pupils suddenly shrank and her expression became even more solemn and cold. Her beautiful eyes stared at the 4 boxes and a faint doubt gradually appeared between her brows. Qin Yun, Bai Suxin, and Luo Yaofeng also quietly looked at Yu Shangyun, not daring to say a word. What's going on? Yu Shangyun looked at Luo Yaofeng and asked, one of the bloodline heavenly pattern box, you gave it to him, right? Luo Yaofeng was now like a little girl. She walked over and pulled Yu Shangyun's hand, shook her arm, and said coquettishly, Sister Shangyun, I acted on my own in this matter. It's my fault. It's a long story. Brother Yin originally had 1 box, and then he got 2 more. Let me say it. Let me say it. Qin Yun explained the process of obtaining the 4 boxes. Yu Shangyun was obviously a little angry because when they were doing these dangerous things, they did not tell her or discuss it with her. She seemed to understand Luo Yaofeng very well. She knew that Luo Yaofeng did not want to tell her, so she vigorously spanked Luo Yaofeng's butt. Luo Yaofeng stuck out his tongue and smiled sweetly. He knew that Yu Shangyun's anger had subsided. Sister Shangyun, do you also have a box in your hand? Qin Yun asked. I did. Yu Shangyun came to the side of the table and looked at the 4 boxes. She said, my box is rather special. It's not square, it's a round box. It looks like the moon. Then where did your box go? Luo Yaofeng asked. It was borrowed by someone, and that person still hasn't returned it to me. Yu Shangyun sighed. Back then, You asked me to lend it out. Then, will that affect you? Luo Yaofeng was very worried and held Yu Shangyun's hand tightly. Sister, that is very important to you. If anything happens, it will take your life. That won't happen. My box is rather special. As long as Shenyu is still here, nothing will happen to me. Yu Shangyun gently caressed Luo Yaofeng's face and said, Don't worry. Qin Yun and Bai Suxin also heaved a sigh of relief. Sister Shangyun, who did you lend the box to? Why don't you come back? Qin Yun asked. That person is too strong. He doesn't want to return it to me. I have no choice. Yu Shangyun shook her head. We can only do this for now. In any case, it's still safe in that person's hands. Even the heavenly sovereigns won't be able to snatch it away. How'd I use these boxes? It will definitely make Brother Yun stronger. Luo Yaofeng leaned on the table and stared at the boxes. I really don't know. If I had known, I wouldn't have lent the box out. Yu Shangyun looked at Bai Suxin and said, Suxin, your father has had the box for many years. Did he not discover anything, but only knew that the box was very important? Bai Suxin nodded. My father wasted a lot of energy on the box. Later on, when the box was no longer in his hands, he became much more open-minded. There's one thing I'm sure of. The bloodline heavenly pattern box can cause the birth of a powerful race. Yu Shangyun said. Qin Yun thought about it carefully and realized that it was indeed the case. Siakaru's bloodline heavenly pattern box corresponded to the 9-son royal family. Then there is the White Sun Divine King's box. He also had a powerful White Sun Divine race behind him, but it was later destroyed. The purple bloodline heavenly pattern box in Zao's hands is related to the Purple Sun Fairy race. Then there is Yu Shangyun's Divine Moon race. My box didn't create a powerful race. Luo Yaofeng said. Your box has been sealed. Yu Shangyun said. That's why I suspect that the person who borrowed my box wanted to create a powerful race. In that case, if I want to find other boxes, should I pay attention to powerful races? Then what about the 9 Heavens Divine race and the 9 Heavens Demon race? Do they have boxes? Qin Yun asked. They shouldn't have. The birth of these two races has nothing to do with the Divine Sun. 9-son royal family, Purple Sun Fairy race, White Sun Divine race, and my Divine Moon race are all related to the sun. Yu Shangyun said, Qin Yun, if you want to find other boxes, you can think about it from this aspect. Luo Yaofeng looked at his black and white box and mumbled, Then what kind of powerful race will my box create? Why was it sealed? Sigh, could this be the will of the heavens? In that case, there are only 3 9 heavens goddesses left. No new 9 heavens goddesses have appeared? Qin Yun asked doubtfully. I don't know. Generally speaking, the box will choose a new 9 heavens goddess. If no new 9 heavens goddess appears, it means that the 9 heavens bloodline heavenly pattern has not found a suitable successor. Yu Shangyun said. Qin Yun looked at the boxes in a daze. What kind of secret is hidden inside? He plans to ask Tian Daozi. Put them away. Next time, don't hide anything from me. Yu Shangyun snorted and then lightly glared at Luo Yaofeng. Elder sister, I know I was wrong. Luo Yaofeng smiled tenderly and hugged Yu Shangyun. Then, she took a deep breath on Shangyun's jade neck. Only she would dare to do such a thing. Let's go back. I have something for you to do. Our Divine Moon race and Guanghan Palace need to quickly increase our strength. During this period of time, the blue light released by the Mother Moon Transformation Realm is very peculiar. It should be useful for us. Yu Shangyun pulled Bai Suxin and Luo Yaofeng's hands. Luo Yaofeng waved at Qin Yun and said with smile, Brother Yun, I'm sorry. Your little wife has been snatched away by Sister Shangyun. Goodbye. Bai Suxin smiled at Qin Yun and waved her hand to bid farewell. Chapter 2453. Qin Yun calculated the time and felt that there was no need to rush to the myriad heaven's divine moon. Right now, he still had something very important to do. Heaven-leaping treasure cannon. Qin Yun took out the door-sized jade book, placed it on the ground, and began flipping through it. This was given to him by the space god. It recorded the spatial runes mastered by the space god. These spatial runes can adapt to the current deity Desolate. Qin Yin wants to learn from it and then use the spatial runes to improve his heaven-leaping shuttle and refine a teleportation magic tool. Teleportation Dharma treasures were very useful. After Qin Yin obtained the teleportation bead from the god of space, it became very convenient for him. For example, when he went out to cheat the White Sun Elf Emperor, he had the teleportation pearl, which allowed him to run very fast. In terms of spatial teleportation, the Divine Court of Myriad Worlds had a good grasp of it. Before the space god returned to the Divine Court of Myriad Worlds, the Divine Court of Myriad Worlds already had spaceships that could travel through space. Now, the Divine Court of the Myriad Realms was using space teleportation like the sun at high noon. Brother Space is truly awesome. After Divine Desolate was formed, the spatial runes he mastered were no longer suitable for Divine Desolate. He was also regarded as a cripple. However, he disappeared for many days and studied in seclusion for more than 100 years. He comprehended a new spatial rune. Qin Yin flipped through the heaven-leaping treasure scripture. Mo also flew out and sat on his shoulder. She looked at the spatial runes carved on every page of the heaven-leaping treasure scripture and seriously recorded them. Big brother, someone who can carve this kind of spatial rune must have a spatial inscription spirit. Mo suddenly said. Spatial inscription spirit? Qin Yin was alarmed. This is a special type of inscription spirit. Just like totem inscription spirit, it doesn't have any special name. Mo explained with a smile. I have so many inscription spirits, but they don't have much use in spatial runes. Qin Yin looked at the spatial runes and felt a headache. They're rather complicated, and it consumes a lot of blood soul power. Fortunately, he had the little queen ant to provide him with a large amount of spatial divine power, which made things much more convenient for him. Qin Yin has mastered many inscription spirits, but when it comes to using spatial runes, they're not of much help. Brother, I have an idea. It is to fuse these spatial runes with star runes, moon runes, and sun runes. Mo said. Qin Yin's eyes lit up as Mo flew into his palm. Mo, when it comes to runes, you are much better than me. You should have a way to transform these spatial runes into moon runes, star runes, or sun runes, right? Qin Yin looked at the beautiful and adorable high priest of the fairies in his palm. I do have a way, but I also need Big Brother's help, especially the mystic fusion heavenly rune. The mysterious fusion heavenly runes we have now are all at the initial stage, and it is very difficult for me to evolve them. Mo said. Mysterious fusion heavenly rune and Gemini heavenly rune are very formidable heavenly runes. Qin Yin and Mo can record them, but they are unable to evolve them. Originally, Mo could evolve many runes, especially the runes on the body of inscription beasts. Even heavenly rune beasts can evolve. However, she couldn't evolve the heavenly patterns to a higher level, mainly because the heavenly patterns weren't in her body. The profound fusion heavenly rune originated from Yi Yaoxue. Qin Yin wanted to find Yi Yaoxue for a very long time. He has not seen her for a very long time. Ling Yuner charmingly smiled and said, Xiao Yun, Yi Yaoxue is also your wife. Qin Yin recalled the interesting things that happened between him and Yi Yaoxue. Back then, they were exchanging pointers, and Yi Yaoxue said that as long as he could take off her clothes, he would win. Later on, Qin Yin took off her underwear, and they met each other. Then many things happened in Hunter Pagoda's sect that brought them together. I wonder how she is now. Will she be angry that I want to find her because of something? Qin Yin is somewhat worried. Of course she won't be angry, Ling Yuner said with a smile. Then I will secretly go find her. Qin Yin doesn't dare to enter the Guanghan Palace because he is afraid that Yushang Yun will find out and drag him out. At the same time, he is also worried that the little sisters of the Guanghan Palace will be too enthusiastic and he won't be able to handle them. Qin Yin is suddenly very nervous because this time he is going to meet a masculine woman he has not seen for many years. Yi Yaoxue is also the kind of person who can fight very well. Although she looks gentle and elegant, she is very ruthless when fighting. I wonder what cultivation she has now. Qin Yun took out a spirit-chasing talisman. This talisman has been chasing after Yi Yaoxue for many years. Qin Yun tested it and discovered that it is still useful. She is not in the Guanghan Palace? Qin Yun looked at the spirit-chasing talisman and is somewhat doubtful. Guanghan Palace and Divine Moon Heavenly City are located in the central region of the Heavenly Sword Formation. And now the direction of the spirit-chasing talisman is not at the central region of the Heavenly Sword Formation. Let's go take a look. It is inside the Heavenly Sword Formation anyways. Qin Yun stored away the heaven-leaping shuttle and decided to quietly fly over. The Heavenly Sword Formation is very big. It is more than enough to carry out some trials. All the great inscription masters joined hands to create a trial ground that simulates a very cruel environment. This way, people will be able to stimulate their formidable potential during the trial. Qin Yun followed the spirit-chasing talisman and flew very fast in the sky. After less than half a day, he suddenly heard a familiar shout. The sand in front of him is a complete mess. Fragments of armor and weapons are scattered all over the place. It is filled with a tyrannical aura. It is obvious that a great battle has just occurred. Su Wudi Batian, even if I die, I will never eat your pill hall's broken pill. This is Su Xiaoba's voice. His shout is very loud and clear. It reverberated all around. It sounds unyielding and full of spirit. This can immediately cure your injuries. Otherwise, you would have to lie down for several years. Think about it. If you lie down for several years in the divine desolate great era, Uncle Zhang's dog next door might be stronger than you. Morong Darren chuckled and said from the side, hand over the pill. Su Xiaoba snorted and extended his hand to receive the pill from a middle-aged man. Hong Yin is also at the side. Apart from him, there is also Huizhong, a tall and simple and honest man. All of them have varying degrees of injuries on their bodies. Qin Yun frowned and muttered, "This Su Xiaoba is really something." Just a moment ago, he said that he would rather die than eat Pill Hall's pill. Why is he eating it now? Su Xiaoba is Qin Yun's disciple. He possesses a very strong world extermination spirit and is now a member of Heavenly Palace. Qin Yun finds it somewhat strange that Su Xiaoba is at loggerheads with Pill Hall. Qin Yun returned to Nanyang Divine Palace a few times and only saw Su Xiaoba once. At that time, Su Xiaoba was still shouting that in a few years, he would be able to hang up and beat up all the divine heavenly monarchs. Although Morong Darren is also a member of Nanyang Divine Palace, he doesn't have a hall and is just fooling around everywhere. Because his relationship with Qin Yun is pretty good, he often runs around blindly and boasted everywhere. Qin Yun did not go over. Instead, he looked all around and saw a woman standing on top of a sword peak. She is wearing black tight, fitting clothes which set off her snow-white skin even more. Her appearance is elegant and beautiful. Her body is well-developed and graceful. Her beautiful eyes are flickering with gentle light. A light breeze blew over, blowing her jet-black long hair. She is tall and slender. Her grace is picturesque, charming, and moving. Yi Yaoxue is indeed here. Just as Qin Yun was about to fly over and greet her, Su Xiaoba suddenly raised his head and looked at the sword peak and shouted, "Master's wife, why didn't you attack earlier? You just stood there and watched as I was being beaten up. You are too disloyal? No wonder Master has not come to find you for so many years." Hearing this, Qin Yun almost fell down from the sky. At this time, he saw Yi Yaoxue's charming and beautiful face suddenly become gloomy and cold, but soon after, it became filled with a charming smile. Her smile is very unusual. Qin Yun observed a moment of silence for Su Xiaoba in his heart. Su Xiaoba, it is clearly you who are useless, yet you still say that I didn't attack. Yi Yaoxue said with charming smile, "You are Su Wudi Batian. If you can't defeat someone, how can I, a weak woman, defeat him? From now on, you are no longer my master's wife. I have many master's wives anyways. It doesn't matter if I don't have you. It doesn't matter if I have you." Su Xiaoba coldly groaned, then looked at Hong Yin and said, Red-eyed chicken, I remember that you have an younger sister called Hong Mengshu. She is also my master's wife, right? Qin Yin very much wants to hammer Su Xiaoba to death. He is actually talking nonsense all day long. How can people think of him? Brother Batian, shut up. You can't say that to little brother Yin. Murong Darren promptly covered Su Xiaoba's mouth. My master is so awesome. It is very normal for him to have many women. You are the one who said it. Su Xiaoba pulled away Murong Darren's hand and said, Shower Murong, tell me, which master's wives I have not seen before. At this time, a crisp paw sound can be heard. Su Xiaoba's shiny bald head has been smashed into the sand. Su Xiaoba's body is injured and it is not light at all. But after eating the pill, he became a lot better. He immediately flew into the sky and furiously said, Which bastard hit me? Pa! Qin Yin arrived behind Su Xiaoba in a flash and ferociously attacked again, causing Su Xiaoba to fall to the ground. Everyone present is extremely startled. Su Xiaoba is a very strong Dao god. Even if he is injured, he should not have been plotted against like this. Qin Yun has concealed his aura. It is very difficult to sense him. Su Xiaoba drilled out of the sand, patted his head, and very unhappily yelled, Master, come out, don't hide. Xiaoba, I did not expect you to be so quick-witted. You actually knew I was here, Qin Yin said with a smile. Qin Yin also appeared in front of Su Xiaoba. I also know that you're not here to find us. You're here to find great beauty, Yi. Am I right? Su Xiaoba curled his lips and said, You are truly a man who only cares about the opposite sex. Qin Yin looked at Yi Yaoshue, who was standing on top of the sword peak, then rubbed Su Xiaoba's head and said, Not bad. You guessed correctly. Little brother Yin, all Heaven Divine Nation is too arrogant. When can you bring us to deal with them? Murong Darren said with mischievous smile, Master, all Heaven Divine Nation is truly arrogant. Nobody can do anything to them. It is up to Master. Su Xiaoba sighed and said, I, Su Wudi Batian, was born a few hundred years later, otherwise all Heaven Divine Desolate would not even have a chance with all Heaven Divine Nation. Yaoshua slowly floated down from the sky, walked over with a smile on her face, and said, Su Xiaoba, you are being arrogant again. How am I being arrogant? In Nine Yang Divine Palace, even without Master's protection, my brother Baishan's strength is one of the best among Dao gods. Su Xiaoba very confidently said. Chapter 2454. Qin Yin was somewhat surprised. He never expected the Purple Sun fairies to integrate so quickly. They had already begun sparring with everyone. I'm not a normal human. If we were to fight one-on-one, Violet Sun elves of the same cultivation level are not my match at all. Su Xiaoba looked at Murong Darren and Hong Yin and said with a look of disdain, It's all because these two are too weak. Only Hua Lao San can hold on for a while. Murong Jun and Hong Yin were both grinning. It could be seen that they were also people who often dragged him down. Big brother dominating heaven. Since you're the big brother, of course you have to take responsibility. It's normal for us to be weaker than you. Hong Yin stroked his flame-like hair and chuckled. Our strategy this time isn't good, and we didn't coordinate well. That's why this happened. It's not that we're afraid of death. Murong Darren said with a smile. You two are the worst. You didn't even fight and just ran away. Su Xiaoba seems to be already used to their style. Qin Yun said with a smile, If you were to fight the Purple Sun elves again, Third Brotherhood will be the first to disrupt their rhythm. Little tyrant, find an opportunity to attack. Don't be in a hurry to go up. Second Brother Murong and Red-Eyed Chicken. You have to find an opportunity to distract the enemy's attention and prevent Third Brother Hua from being targeted. He also had to prevent them from surrounding Xiaoba. As long as you create a good opportunity for Xiaoba to attack, he will be able to defeat the enemy quickly. Brother Yin, we'll do as you say next time. Murong Darren said with a smile. We only wanted to see if Brother Dominating Heaven could fight so many Purple Sun elves alone. However, we didn't expect him to still be a little lacking. That's right. Hong Yin said. He was the one who told us not to attack. Su Xiaoba patted off the dust on his body, then looked at Qin Yun and Yi Yaoshua and said, Master, Master, you two go take care of proper business. You don't need to worry about this matter. We will surely win next time. Yi Yaoshua smiled and rolled her eyes. Then she looked at Qin Yun and said in low voice, Let's go. We have proper business to attend to. Qin Yun is somewhat speechless. He pulled her and flew far away and disappeared in a short while. As for Su Xiaoba and Murong Darren, they began to bicker and quarrel again. At the same time, they are waiting for the next round of attacks. Qin Yun brought her into the heaven-leaping shuttle and flew above the desert, passing through many huge sword mountains. Yi Yaoshua leaned back on the chair. Her long legs under her tight pants were raised high. She ate a fruit and said with smile, Xiao Yun, why are you looking for me? Yaoshua, I wanted to go find you before, but it is not easy to go to the Guanghan Palace. In addition, too many things have happened, so I haven't been able to find you for a long time. Qin Yun said somewhat guiltily. Yi Yaoshua stood up and arrived in front of Qin Yun. She hugged his waist and said with gentle smile, Are you afraid that I will blame you, so you don't dare to come find me? Yun said, Xiao Yun, son Yun Yun. Yin Yun Yin Yu, Xiao Yin Yu son. Yin son, and suddenly Yin said, Yi, Yin and Yang do you are my son. My. Oomph. Who wants to be your concubine? Yi Yaoshua said with smile. Xiao Long said it. He had to say Xiao Yun. One said he Xiao Yun said that has Yun. Yang Sunday Su Xiaoba said it himself. He has so many wives. It doesn't matter if I am one or not. So why are you still thinking about me? Yi Yaoshua said with charming smile. You gave it to me for free. It would be a waste if I didn't. Qin Yun hugged Yi Yaoshua's delicate body and let her stick to his body. Then he kissed her red lips. Yi Yaoshua also smiled sweetly. She closed her eyes filled with sweet smile and tightly hugged Qin Yun. Both of them enjoyed the sweetness of reunion after a long time. The two of them sat together on a big chair and hugged each other intimately. Yaoshua, don't tell me you're going to fight like this? Qin Yun asked. Yi Yaoshua is wearing tight, fitting clothes. Moreover, the material of the clothes is very special. There are many dark runes carved inside the clothes. They can form very strong defense. There are many talented inscription masters in Guanghan Palace. The clothes they make are very high quality. The runes and materials are very good. I want to see the strength of purple sun elves. I fought with Princess Feng Feng before. She is indeed very strong. Yi Yaoshua said with smile. Inside the through heaven sword formation, everyone agreed to attack purple sun elves. Oh, then don't damage the harmony. Qin Yun said with smile. This is purple sun elf emperor's request. He said that they don't have enough battle experience, so he wants us to help them train. Injuries won't matter. They will recover very quickly after eating pills. Yi Yaoshua lightly hammered Qin Yun's chest and said with smile, Xiao Yun, why did you come to find me? Quickly say it. Don't waste your time. Everyone knows that Qin Yun is facing a very strong enemy, like all heavenly venerables. Yi Yaoshua also very much hopes that she can help Qin Yun. Therefore, she is very happy that Qin Yun came to find her. Qin Yun met Yi Yaoshua in 100 Pagoda Sect. He experienced many things in 100 Pagoda Sect. Yi Yaoshua remembers them very clearly. Back then, she predicted that Qin Yun would have very high achievements in the future. But she did not expect that Qin Yun is now a lord of a region. If he can defeat all heavenly venerables, he might even become a supreme expert. Yaoshua, how is your mysterious fusion heavenly rune? Along with your cultivation increasing, the mysterious fusion heavenly rune should also be continuously evolving, right? I looked at it just now, but I can't see it, Qin Yun said. Yi Yaoshua slightly closed her eyes. Suddenly a weak red light suddenly rushed out from her chest. A ball of light that is intertwined with many red threads slowly appeared. This is my current mysterious fusion heavenly rune. It has evolved several times. Yi Yaoshua said with smile. Qin Yun is extremely shocked seeing Yi Yaoshua's mysterious fusion heavenly rune. This heavenly rune has an inner core inside. It is truly mysterious. Qin Yun deeply inhaled and said in amazement. Moreover, the inner core is very strange. It looks like a crystal. My mysterious fusion heavenly rune has 3 layers. The inner core is 1 layer. There are 2 layers outside the inner core. If it continues to evolve, it will have 9 layers. Yi Yaoshua said, Then what about your Tao image? Does the mysterious fusion heavenly rune have any effect on your Tao image? Qin Yun asked, This is my Tao image. I only have 1 Tao image, but I have 9 Xian divine veins. Moreover, I also have a sacred tribulation gate. Yi Yaoshua released her sacred tribulation gate. Her sacred tribulation gate is also very strange. It is red in color and also circular. There is a curved door opening in the middle of the circular gate. After opening the gate, it slowly moved to both sides. Everyone's cultivation is different, is truly strange. Qin Yin said with smile, Yaoshua, it seems like you are not weak at all. How can I be weak to become your little wife? Yi Yaoshua very proudly smiled and said, Her beautiful eyes are filled with a sweet smile. Of course, Qin Yin cannot help but kiss her red lips. My mysterious fusion heavenly rune has 3 kinds of abilities. You obtain my mysterious fusion heavenly rune before, it can only fuse energy and runes. This is the first one. The second one can fuse some very strong, solid objects. For example, if you fuse saber and sword together with flame, you can fuse them perfectly. There will be no rejection. The third one is to fuse even bigger and stronger objects. In short, the range of fusion is even wider. Yi Yaoshua said, Do you use it often? Qin Yin asked. Of course. In Guanghan Palace, I often help them fuse runes or fuse all kinds of medicinal liquids and powders when refining pills. Now, Divine Moon Clan's inscription masters and alchemists frequently come to me for help. There is also Sister Shang Yun. I even followed her for a period of time and helped her a lot. Yi Yaoshua said, So that's how it is. Did Sister Shang Yun ask you about me? Qin Yin did not expect that Yi Yaoshua's relationship with Yu Shang Yun would be very good. She asked me a lot. I told her everything. She said that you took off my underwear. You are very perverted. Yi Yaoshua said with smile. Qin Yin curled his lips and said with smile, It seems like you have spoken ill of me many times. Xiao Yun, do you urgently need my mysterious fusion heavenly rune? No matter how difficult, no matter how dangerous, I will spare no effort to help you. Yi Yaoshua said with firm expression, It is not difficult. I want to use mysterious fusion heavenly rune to fuse those space divine runes into moon, star, and sun runes. If possible, I want to fuse them into heavenly runes. Qin Yin said with smile. He doesn't have space inscription spirit. Space runes are only single attribute. They are not suitable for him. If he can transform them into runes of the same attribute as his inscription spirit, it will be much easier for him to use space runes. That is no problem. I am very experienced in this aspect. I can help you. Yi Yaoshua said with smile. Yaoshua, thank you. Qin Yun hugged Yi Yaoshua and kissed her cheek. Qin Yun is also preparing to start discussing with Yi Yaoshua what to do. He wants to use inscription do technique to carve runes of leaping heaven-treasured scripture in the void, then carve other runes, and let Yi Yaoshua fuse them together. Yaoshua, what do Divine Moon Clan and Guanghan Palace do? What do you think is the best way to fuse them together? Qin Yun asked. I think it will be best to fuse them together. Yi Yaoshua said with smile. Space runes should be fused with suitable star runes, moon runes, and sun runes. This way, you will only need to carve one. It can be done like this? Qin Yun said in amazement. Indeed, after fusing them together, it is very likely that they will become heavenly runes. Xiao Yun, you have many inscription spirits. It will be very easy for you to carve heavenly runes. Yi Yaoshua said, Divine Moon Clan and Guanghan Palace can't control heavenly runes after fusing like this, so I've never tried it. But I want to try it. There are altogether 30 sets of leaping heaven-treasured scripture space runes. I will carve them all and float them in the sky. The time they can remain in the void is limited. Maybe when I finish carving the 30th set, the first set will disappear. Moreover, I will have to carve the best star, moon, and sun runes. Qin Yun shook his head. Chapter 2455. A crescent moon imprint appeared on Yi Yaoshue's forehead. It will allow her to contact the Guanghan Palace and ask Jian Linglong and the others to come. Qin Yun is looking at the large, jumping, heaven-treasured scripture on the ground, waiting for Yi Yaoshue to contact Jian Linglong and the others. After a while, Yi Yaoshue opened her eyes and said with frown, "Xiao Yun, Sister Linglong, and the others won't be able to come in a short period of time. Then we too will try it out first." Qin Yun said, "Sister Linglong and the others have gone out. Sister Shangyun brought them out. I don't know what they are going to do. I will contact Sister Qinsheng and Sister Tianzi. Although they are not inscription masters, they can release blood spirit power." Yi Yaoshue said, "All right, I miss them a lot." Qin Yun said with smile, "Xiao Yun, Sister Shangyun brought Sister Linglong out. There must be something important." Yi Yaoshue, he said with worry, "With Sister Shangyun here, there should be no problem. Apart from Sister Shangyun, who is good at fighting, who else will go with them?" Qin Yun said, "There is also Wind Moon Marquis, Sister Bing Xing, Sister Wulan." Yi Yaoshue said, "With them, we can be at ease." Qin Yun nodded. Qin Yun began carving very complex spatial runes according to the jumping heaven-treasured scripture. He also let Mo come out. Mo can very quickly record those runes and then carve them with her eyes. Don't look at Mo as a very small fairy. Her blood spirit power is very strong. She only needs to look at those runes once to memorize them and then very quickly carve them in the air with her eyes. She can't use carving knife to carve runes on hard objects. If she uses blood spirit power to carve runes in the air, her speed will be a lot faster than Qin Yun. Qin Yun is not proficient in spatial runes. He also doesn't have inscription spirit in this aspect, so his progress is very slow. Mo, I did not expect you to be so awesome," Qin Yun said in surprise. "I have become a lot stronger in this period of time. Sister Yang, Little Bunny, and Little Ant Queen are all improving. I cannot fall behind." Mo said with sweet smile. "Little Mo is really awesome," Yi Yaoshue said with smile. "She is very fond of this cute little fairy." Yi Yaoshue can also release blood spirit power. She is currently pouring her blood spirit power into a set of spatial runes floating in the sky to prevent them from dissipating. Not long after, Zi Qinsheng and Shui Tianzi arrived. Qin Yun and Yi Yaoshue are also inside the warehouse of the heaven-leaping shuttle. Zi Qinsheng was dressed in a light and elegant purple dress. A faint joy surfaced on her beautiful face. After seeing Qin Yun, this peerless beauty, Ziyin was also extremely excited. Beside her was Shui Tianzi, who wore a white chiffon dress. "Little hubby, I missed you so much." Shui Tianzi floated over. Like gentle warm water, she slowly rushed toward Qin Yun and wrapped him up. "Water fairy, she's messing with my mind again." Qin Yun cursed in his heart, but he was very happy. If Yi Yaoshue and Zi Qinsheng were not here, he would be worried that this water fairy would take advantage of him even more. "Little brat, how come you only came to find us now?" Zi Qinsheng grumbled in a low voice and then arrived beside Qin Yun. "Sister Steam Bun, long time no see. Every time I see you, I feel that you have become a bit fatter. Let me pinch you and see if you have become fatter or not." Qin Yun giggled. It is as if his hand is not under his control. He extended it to Zi Qinsheng's face and began pinching. "Who has become fatter? Go away." Zi Qinsheng delicately groaned and said. She wanted to push away Qin Yun's hand, but she did not do so. Just like this, Qin Yun embraced the charming and enchanting Shui Tianzi with one hand and pinched Zi Qinsheng's face with the other. "Our big sister, Yi, is jealous." Shui Tianzi giggled and said, "Who is jealous?" Yi Yaoshue walked over, pinched Shui Tianzi's thigh, and said with angry smile, "Now that Zi Qinsheng and Shui Tianzi have come, they will not leave again. Qin Yun wants to keep these two beauties inside the Nine-Sun Divine Soul again." They will follow him and help him with some matters. Let's quickly begin, Yi Yaoshua said. Then she began assigning tasks to Shui, Tianzi, and Zi Qingsheng. These two beauties' cultivation is not low. They're sacred god and will soon enter Dao God realm. Also, their cultivation situation had changed drastically. It was no longer something Qin Yun was familiar with. The main thing is that their cultivation has changed greatly after cultivating in the heaven's divine moon. It is very good. Especially their usage of mental power has become even stronger. They can condense even stronger blood spirit power and some special flame. They often follow Jian Linglong and others to help them refine tools and talismans. Sometimes they also help them refine pills. Although their battle power is not very strong, they have a lot of experience in pill refining, tool refining, and talisman crafting. What they need to do now is to stabilize the spatial runes created by Qin Yun and Mo. They need to pour in blood spirit power to maintain the spatial runes in their best condition. Only when the runes are in their best condition can Yi Yaoshua fuse with them. They often follow Yi Yaoshua to fuse runes before, so they're very experienced in this aspect. Oh, that's right. Where did Sister Linglong and others go? Qin Yun asked. Sister Steambun, do you know? It was Sister Shan Yun who brought them there. I don't know what they are going to do. Zi Qingsheng shook her head. Feng Jin told me before that they might take a trip to heaven's divine moon. Shui Tianzi said. I remember Sister Shang Yun said that the blue light released by heaven's divine moon must be useful. It is just that we don't know how to use it. She must be bringing Sister Linglong and other inscription masters to study this. Yi Yaoshua suddenly realized. Qin Yun also heard from Yu Shang Yun that he plans to fuse the spatial runes, make some teleportation magic tools, and then immediately go to heaven's divine moon. He wants to see if he can meet Siekiru. Then he will go to Heavenly Dao Pawn Shop to have a meeting and fight over the control rights of Heavenly Dao Pawn Shop. With Mo's help, Qin Yun finished drawing all 30 spatial runes in the Leaping Heaven Treasured Scripture in one day. The 30 spatial runes are flickering with faint white light. They look like many tangled and complicated threads floating around. But if one looks carefully, they will discover that they are very mysterious. Even if one doesn't understand runes, they can see that they are very profound and formidable runes. Mo, you go rest first. After I finish fusing, I will need your help. Yi Yaoshua said to Mo in gentle voice. All right, I will recover very quickly. Mo also entered the Nine-Sun Divine Soul to rest. Next, Qin Yun will carve sun runes, star runes, and moon runes. Xiao Yun, star, moon, and sun runes. Which one do you want to use the strongest? Yi Yaoshua asked. Of course I want star totem, moon totem, and sun totem. Qin Yun said with smile. I have all of them. They will surely be compatible with spatial runes. Then let's quickly begin. Let me see the strongest star totem, moon totem, and sun totem. Yi Yaoshua said with smile. The strongest, no problem. Qin Yun's eyes suddenly flickered with blue light. He used Imperial Heaven Heart and unleashed Imperial Heaven Divine Power to quickly condense the strongest star totem. Yi Yaoshua, Zi Qingsheng, and Shui Tianzi are now looking at the area in front of Qin Yun. They want to see what the strongest star totem looks like. What caused them to be incomparably surprised is that no star totem appeared in front of Qin Yun. Instead, a beautiful, graceful figure appeared. Soon after, a long-legged woman appeared. This is Star Lord Inscription Spirit's form. Its form is that of a star god. Xiao Yun, your Star Lord Inscription Spirit's form is actually that of Sister Star God. Shui Tianzi's eyes are blurry. She said with charming smile, I have not seen Sister Star God for a long time. I wonder where she is. She is in seclusion here, Qin Yun said. So is you who hid Sister Star God. Shui Tianzi said with gentle smile. After Qin Yun released Star Lord Inscription Spirit's form, he began carving a very complex star totem. Very quickly the star totem was completed. Then the Star Lord flew around the rune. While flying, the transformed Star Lord's body released white threads that coiled around the star totem. along with the charming and moving star god phantom gradually disappearing. The star totem, completed by the Star Lord, completely took shape. Now the star totem looks like a huge spiral galaxy. It is slowly revolving. This is the Dao Yin star totem. If one looks carefully, they can see that there are many rune nodes inside the galaxy. They're all bright and resplendent stars. After carefully looking for a while, it is as if they're inside a sea of stars. Star totem is completed. Next is the moon totem. Qin Yun began carving the moon totem. Moon Lady inscription spirit's form should be that of Big Sister Yang. Yi Yaoshua said. Qin Yun used inscription spirit to condense its form, and then fused it with the totem, making the totem even stronger. Very soon Qin Yun finished carving the moon totem. Just like before, he used the Moon Lady inscription spirit to condense the Moon Lady's form. The immortal-like long skirt beauty is the Moon Lady inscription spirit's form. It is exactly the same as Yang Shirwei. It is indeed Big Sister Yang, Yi Yaoshua said with smile. Just like before, Qin Yun fused the Moon Lady's form into the moon totem and made it even stronger. Now the moon totem is also the Dao Yin moon totem. It is constantly changing from a crescent moon to a full moon and then back to a crescent moon. It is constantly changing. It is very mystical. Chapter 2456. Things like inscription spirit are very difficult to see. For example, Qin Yun cannot see that the space god has an inscription spirit. I have Sun Emperor inscription spirit for a long time, Qin Yun said with smile. He began condensing the Sun Emperor inscription spirit's form. Shui Tianzi and Zi Qingxing know that Qin Yun has Sun Emperor inscription spirit, so they are not surprised. But they don't know what the Sun Emperor inscription spirit's form will be. Very soon, Qin Yun condensed a tall and elegant woman filled with Monarch's prestige through the Sun Emperor inscription spirit. This woman has beautiful white hair that is lingering with white mist. Her stern and cold face is filled with domineering aura. She is wearing white armor and is floating in the sky in a majestic manner. The Sun Emperor inscription spirit's form is by Suxin. It's actually Sister Suxin, Yi Yaoshua said in amazement. And Qin Yun spread out his hands. When he first condensed the Sun Emperor inscription spirit's form, he was very surprised to see Bai Suxin. And now, he has also condensed the Sun Totem. Originally, there were 9 Sun Totems, but they were merged into one long time ago. After the Sun Emperor inscription spirit merged with it, the Sun Totem became even stronger. It released intense golden white light and transformed into a ball that looks like a golden white sun. The light is also very scorching. All right, leave the rest to me. Yi Yaoshua lightly smiled and then released her mysterious fusion heavenly rune. Her mysterious fusion heavenly rune floated in the sky and became very big. Moreover, many complicated red runes spread out. Those runes are like roots. They quickly spread all around and coiled around the 30 spatial runes, as well as the star, moon, and sun totems. After coiling around, the 30 spatial runes slowly rotated and then fused with the star, moon, and sun totems. After fusing, the runes looked like they were smashed and then quickly fused together. The fusing process is very strange. It is as if all kinds of different materials were smashed and then kneaded together. Originally, this would certainly cause conflict, but under the effect of mysterious fusion heavenly rune, they very naturally fused together, as if they were innately one. A large number of runes broke apart, then recombined with other runes, then broke and recombined again. This process repeated many times, fusing into a new rune. Yi Yaoshua has consumed a lot of energy. Her absolutely beautiful face is very solemn. She lightly bit her lower lip. Her beautiful eyes flickered with red light as she stared ahead. She is very concentrated on controlling the mysterious fusion heavenly rune. Qin Yun, Zi Qingcheng, and Shui Tianzi were all secretly alarmed as they watched from the side. So many groups of runes and totems fused together and gradually turned into a ball of white light. Just like what Yi Yaoshua said before, it was very likely that a heavenly rune would appear. Qin Yun is somewhat excited because this is a path to create heavenly runes. This means that he will be able to cooperate with her in the future and create incomparably complex and formidable heavenly runes. Only he could grasp such a heavenly pattern. Xiao Yun, this is a heavenly pattern. Can you fuse them? If you fuse with this heavenly rune, you'll be able to use it very quickly in the future. Qin Yun first let Mo come out and let her record the heavenly rune. Mastering the heavenly rune can increase Mo's cultivation. I won't be able to do it alone. I need Mo's help. Qin Yun released his Nether Sun and Nether Moon. Nether Sun and Nether Moon revolved around the heavenly rune. Mo's eyes shot out 2 rays of light. She controlled the heavenly rune to slowly move and enter the Nether Moon. Nether Moon and Qin Yun's soul are connected after the heavenly rune passed through the Nether Moon. It has been branded into Qin Yun's soul. Mo can inject her own runes into Qin Yun's soul, so this step is very smooth. Next is to let the heavenly rune enter the Nether Sun, and Qin Yun's body are closely connected. If it can smoothly fuse with the Nether Sun, Qin Yun will be able to carve the heavenly rune with incomparable precision. He will be able to let the blood spirit power circulate within his body and quickly condense the heavenly rune. This step is also very smooth. The heavenly rune finally entered the Nether Sun. After the Nether Sun and Nether Moon returned to Qin Yun's body, he closed his eyes and the heavenly rune appeared in his mind. A large number of tiny runes within the heavenly rune have been seen by Qin Yun very carefully, taking in a panoramic view. Moreover, he can sense that as long as he wills it, he will be able to carve it very quickly using the blood spirit power. Success! Qin Yun let out a long sigh, then said to Yi Yaoshue with smile, Yaoshue, thank you. No need to be polite. Yi Yaoshue said with charming smile. Xiao Yun, Yaoshue has helped you a great deal. Yet you only need to say thank you? Shui Tianzi said with chuckle. I am very happy to be able to help Xiao Yun. Yi Yaoshue said with smile. Qin Yun hugged Yi Yaoshue and kissed her face. Shui Tianzi pulled Zi Qingsheng and said, Xiao Yun, quickly let us enter the 9-Sun Divine Soul. I haven't seen Yang Yang and Little Bunny for a long time. Qin Yun immediately let them in and said with smile, You will also see an old acquaintance you have never met before. The old acquaintance he is talking about is none other than the immoral elf Ling Yuner. Yi Yaoshue has consumed a lot of energy to help Qin Yun fuse a very powerful space, heavenly rune. Her beautiful jade-like face has become haggard. I can help you recover faster. Qin Yun said with smile. All right, let us cultivate Sun and Moonheart Sutra together. Yi Yaoshue said with smile. I have not cultivated with you for a long time. Qin Yun brought Yi Yaoshue to a secret room inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. After arriving, Yi Yaoshue said with gentle smile, Xiao Yun, we only cultivated first layer of Sun and Moonheart Sutra before. How about we cultivate higher layer? This, we have never cultivated second layer. Qin Yun's mind is shaken by Yi Yaoshue's gaze. Oof, I'm already your little wife. Yi Yaoshue said in slight anger. All right, do whatever you want. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. He hugged Yi Yaoshue and kissed her red lips. After kissing for a while, Yi Yaoshue said with smile, You speak as if I want to take advantage of you. She laughed and then said with firm expression, Xiao Yun, I want to cultivate Sun and Moonheart Sutra with you because I want to see whether or not my mysterious fusion heavenly rune can help you. Help? Qin Yun doubtfully asked. If you don't have something that can perfectly fuse with you, I can help you. Don't talk too much, let's begin. Yi Yaoshue said. Oh. Qin Yun let Yi Yaoshue do as she pleases because Sun and Moonheart Sutra is controlled by her. All he has to do is cooperate with her. Unknowingly, Qin Yun entered into cultivation state and entered an indescribable bewilderment. He only feels that his body is very loose and powerless. Very soon, he is in a daze. He has cultivated Sun and Moonheart Sutra's third layer many times. Cultivating with different women gives him different feeling. And this time, Yi Yaoshue is truly different from before. He has never encountered this kind of feeling before. Naturally, this feeling is very good and very beautiful. Yi Yaoshue truly wants to help Qin Yun. While Qin Yun is in a daze, he suddenly heard Yi Yaoshue whisper in his ear, "Xiao Yun, your body situation is very bad. It is much more serious than I imagined." "Ah, bad, what's the situation?" Qin Yun is very shocked in his heart. "Your Tao image, Xian divine veins, and tribulation gate are not completely fused together, especially after evolving into sacred heavenly Tao image. There are big cuts on the Tao image, Xian divine veins, and tribulation gate." Yi Yaoshue said, "Why is it like this?" Qin Yun is very doubtful. "It might be related to you breaking through too fast." Yi Yaoshue's gentle voice transmitted into Qin Yun's mind. "Don't worry, I can help you adjust." Qin Yun also realized why he felt that his body is very loose just now. So it is because Yi Yaoshue is examining his body. Next, Qin Yun gradually sensed a very gentle power entering his body. At this very moment, he feels as if his soul and Yi Yaoshue's soul have fused into one. This kind of wonderful feeling persisted for the entire night. When Qin Yun woke up, he feels as if he has been immersed in this wonderful feeling for many years. Yaoshue. After he woke up, he did not see Yaoshue beside him and cannot help but shout in fear. "Xiao Yun, I am here." Yi Yaoshue's gentle laughter can be heard from the other side of the room. There's a bath. Qin Yun walked over, took a bath with Yi Yaoshue, and then put on his clothes. He also realized how bad the condition of his body was before. With the help of Yi Yaoshue's mysterious, fusing heavenly rune, all the hidden problems have been fixed. Moreover, he can feel that using Imperial Heaven Divine Power has become even smoother. When using Imperial Heaven Divine Power, Tao Image, Tribulation Gate, and Xian Divine Veins are working together. Previously, when using Imperial Heaven Divine Power, there was a kind of intermittent feeling. But now it is incomparably smooth. It seems like it has become a lot stronger. "Xiao Yun, I want to return to Guanghan Palace to help refine pills." Yi Yaoshue kissed Qin Yun's cheek and said with enchanting smile, "Help me greet Qin Cheng and Tianzi." "Oh, that's right. Next time you break through, you must find me. Even if I don't break through, I will still find you." Qin Yun hugged Yi Yaoshue. He is somewhat reluctant to part with her. "Xiao Yun, you can surely defeat all the heavenly venerables. You are not a tool. You are my good husband. It's all because of your influence that I'm where I am today and am where I am today. And now, I will also help you defy the heavens' fate." Yi Yaoshue's gentle and beautiful eyes are filled with sincerity. Qin Yun nodded and kissed Yi Yaoshue's red lips. "All right, I'm going back." Yi Yaoshue's beautiful face is brimming with sweet smile. Qin Yun sent her off the heaven-leaping shuttle and watched her return to Guanghan Palace. All heavenly venerables. That wretched son of a bitch, he actually said that Guanghan Palace and Divine Moon Clan are his harem. I don't even dare to have such a thought. Qin Yun recalled Yi Yaoshue's gentleness last night and recalled the threat of the heavenly venerables. He wants to quickly deal with this troublesome matter. Chapter 2457. The current Divine Wilderness's space far exceeded that of the Divine Wilderness's era. As for materials related to space, they mainly came from spatial rifts. In a stable space, there were very few spatial cracks, which meant that there were even fewer spatial materials. Therefore, even the Divine Court of Myriad Worlds didn't have many spatial materials. Qin Yun also learned that as the Divine Desolate space gradually strengthened, many people's storage Dharma treasures were unable to adapt to the Divine Desolate space, causing them to gradually shrink and eventually collapse. Qin Yun's 9-yang Divine Soul was not affected, but the Heaven-Leaping Shuttle was affected to a certain extent. Qin Yun found it increasingly difficult to use it. This transcending space Divine Stone is the best material, but it is very rare. Qin Yun took out a fist-sized white stone. After the stone appeared, the surrounding space started to fluctuate slightly. Qin Yun planned to refine a sound transmission pearl so that he could easily contact the Nine-Yang Divine Palace and the Guanghan Palace. It should be enough to refine a few. Qin Yun wants to refine the magic mirror from back then. That is the most useful. However, the space in the divine wilderness had yet to stabilize. Even if he created a magic mirror array base, it would quickly lose its effectiveness due to the changes in space. The transmission bead he was making now was infused with spatial heavenly patterns. This way, it could evolve along with the changes in space. The transcendental space divine stone in his hand was given to him by the god of space. The spatial god did not have many transcendental space divine stones. If Qin Yun wanted to obtain a large amount, he would have to search for them himself. He first melted the transcendental divine stone, then merged some god-level beast bones into it. This could increase the stability of the transcendental divine stone. In addition, he had to integrate some divine yang mysterious iron that could store energy. The divine yang mystic iron was also a material used to make a strength-storing pearl. It could store a large amount of divine power without exploding. After the materials were melted, Qin Yun took out the Gemini treasure mirror and used the mysterious fusion heavenly runes power inside to shine on the melted materials. This way, they can fuse together even more perfectly. Finally, he divided this large lump of molten, scorching material into 10 lumps and placed them into the Dan melting heavenly furnace. Very quickly, the pill transformation heavenly cauldron successively condensed 10 white beads. This Dan melting heavenly furnace is really useful. Qin Yun looked at the 10 pearls and said with mischievous smile, "If I wanted to make them myself, it would take a very long time." Then he entered the final step, which was also the most crucial step, which was to imprint the spatial heavenly pattern into the pearl. Qin Yun took a deep breath and controlled all the power in his body to condense it into blood-soul power. Then he pointed his 10 fingers forward, and with the help of his heavenly eyes, he shot out 12 rays of blue light. He condensed the power of his blood-soul into 12 light beams and began carving spatial heavenly patterns. The current space heavenly rune is the fusion of star, moon, and sun totems. Qin Yun is using Star Lord, Moon Lady, Sun Emperor, and Sky Sovereign inscription spirits to coordinate with each other, so the process is very fast. Heavenly runes were the most difficult, especially the Tao Birth heavenly rune. Tao evolution runes can flow and change. It means that they can evolve, so they are very profound and complicated. Ordinary Tao evolution runes are already very difficult to create, let alone spatial evolution heavenly runes. Furthermore, they are spatial evolution heavenly runes created by Qin Yun. Most of the runes can be carved on a flat piece of paper. It meant that there weren't that many changes. The heavenly pattern was three-dimensional. It was a sphere. When it revolved, it would change. It was extremely complicated. Generally speaking, only those who have heavenly runes can carve a heavenly rune, and it takes a very long time. Some inscription dome masters also have heavenly runes, but when they fight, the heavenly runes they carve are not complete. They are only a part. The space heavenly rune that Qin Yun created now is complete and very fast. If not for the support of 4 inscription spirits, Qin Yun would need at least 1 or 2 years to create this space heavenly rune. But now, he only used 1 day to complete it. Of course, the consumption is very great. It took away 70% to 80% of his power. Not bad. Looking at the floating space heavenly rune in front of him, Qin Yun smiled with satisfaction. The space heavenly rune gradually became bigger under Qin Yun's control. He made the space heavenly rune bigger so that he could see it more clearly. "Yuner, come out and help me recover," Qin Yun said. Ling Yuner is also playing with Shui Tianzi inside the 9-Sun Divine Soul. As soon as these 2 charming seductresses came out, they became very serious. Zi Qingcheng released blood spirit power to maintain the space heavenly rune. Ling Yuner and Shui Tianzi are behind Qin Yun. They each extended a hand and placed it on Qin Yun's back. Then they began operating Sun and Moon Heart Sutra to help him recover. Qin Yun took out the Gemini treasure mirror. He wants to use it to record the space heavenly rune. He has mastered space heavenly rune. Plus, he just created a space heavenly rune. He feels that recording it in the Gemini treasure mirror should not be a problem. After recovering, Qin Yun controlled the Gemini treasure mirror and released the Gemini heavenly rune's power to illuminate the space heavenly rune. Under Qin Yun's control, the space heavenly rune began to slowly revolve and shine on the Gemini treasure mirror. Finally, the space absolute heavenly rune gradually shrunk and floated into the Gemini treasure mirror. Did you succeed? Qin Cheng asked. Qin Yun looked at the Gemini treasure mirror, frowned, and shook his head. Half success. He successfully recorded the space heavenly rune, but it is not complete. It is only half of the space heavenly rune. Is the Gemini heavenly rune not strong enough? Then wait for Yin Yin and Big Sister Kong to come out of seclusion. Then go find the mother and daughter and ask for a better Gemini heavenly rune. Oh, are they in seclusion? Qin Yun asked. They have been in seclusion for a long time. Sister Shang Yun is guiding them in cultivating Gemini heavenly rune. Their heavenly rune should have a great breakthrough. Shui Tianzi said. Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian's Gemini heavenly rune has great effect. Qin Yun gave Qinsheng and Shui Tianzi the Gemini treasure mirror before. After they brought it back to Guanghan Palace, it was copied by Jian Linglong and other female inscription masters. They only relied on Gemini heavenly rune. Gemini heavenly rune can also copy inscription spirits. Naturally, this kind of heaven-defying action is very dangerous. Neither Yang Shiyue nor Yu allowed them to try it. Qin Yun's fate is very hard, and he is not afraid of heavenly punishment. All right, then we can only wait for next time. Although Qin Yun's Gemini treasure mirror is only half complete, its effect is still very good. Through the Gemini treasure mirror, he can very quickly condense half-space heavenly rune. Moreover, it is mainly dark rune. As for the remaining ordinary heavenly runes, he will need to perfect them. With the help of the Gemini treasure mirror, he can be faster than before. Before, Qin Yun needed a whole day to make a space heavenly rune, but now he can finish it in 3 hours. Because the Gemini treasure mirror can store energy, Shui Tianzi and Qinsheng can also use it. They can finish half and then let Qin Yun finish the other half. This way, Qin Yun won't have to consume too much energy and it will be very fast. This way, Qin Yun very quickly made 10 sound transmission divine pearls. These sound transmission divine pearls are much better than Space God's communication talisman. Space God's communication talisman requires Space God to periodically update space heavenly runes. Otherwise, he can't use it. That's why he doesn't give it to others. Otherwise, it would be very troublesome. After Qin Yun finished, he returned to Nine Yang Divine Palace. He gave a small palace spirit so that he can contact the small palace spirit at any time and understand Nine Yang Divine Palace's matters. He doesn't have many sound transmission divine pearls in his hands, so he cannot give them to many people. Only if he can find more transcending space divine stones and refine more. Qin Yun made a trip to Ziyang Villa and gave Zao a sound transmission divine pearl. Then, they would send one of them to the Moon Palace. Guanghan Palace's current contact person is Little Phoenix. She is mainly in charge of contacting various parties, so this sound transmission divine pearl is also given to her. Originally, Qin Yun planned to give it to Yang Shiyue and the others, but now he can't find them. Qin Yun wants to give one to Yu Shangyun. Yu Shangyun is not in Divine Moon Heaven City. It is very likely that she went to Divine Moon of Heavens. All right, then I will go to Divine Moon of Heavens to take a look. Maybe I can turn my Divine Moon Dao image into Sacred Heavenly Dao image there. After Qin Yun finished arranging Nine Yang Divine Palace's matters, he immediately left the Through Heaven Sword formation and flew towards the Blue Divine Moon of Heavens. Many people want to know the current situation of the Divine Moon of Heavens. Not long after Qin Yun left the Through Heaven Sword formation, the nameless old man contacted him. Palace King, I found Jiang Juchuan and Jiang Daliang. Where are you? The nameless old man asked. Qin Yun wants to use Jiang Juchuan and Jiang Daliang to help him set up a trap to capture divine King Jiangxian. Only by capturing divine King Jiangxian can he release his father's 9-heaven law curse. Bring them to Sword Forest Desert. I just left the Through Heaven Sword Formation. Qin Yun replied to the nameless old man through communication talisman. The nameless old man also has a teleportation pearl. His relationship with Space God is very good, so he can also obtain this kind of precious thing. Not long after, the nameless old man brought Jiang Jiuchuan and Jiang Daliang to Sword Forest Desert and met Qin Yun. Qin Yun released a small house in the desert. Jiang Jiuchuan and Jiang Daliang entered the small house, and the nameless old man also left. The father and son pair are wearing black battle armor. They are dressed for battle. When they stand together, they look very much like father and son. Master Qin, when Jiang Daliang saw Qin Yun, he immediately greeted him respectfully. Palace King, Jiang Jiuchuan cupped his hands towards Qin Yun and said with smile. Although Qin Yun's cultivation is lower than his, he still reveres Qin Yun. No need to be so polite, sit down. Qin Yun stood up, cupped his hands towards the father and son pair, and said with smile. Qin Yun is very easygoing. This made Jiang Jiuchuan and Jiang Daliang feel a lot more at ease. They secretly praised Qin Yun for not putting on airs. Although rumor has it that Qin Yun is a tool, a stepping stone for all heaven sovereigns, Qin Yun's status is not low. However, Qin Yun's status was not low. After all, there were not many people who could make the various heavens' venerable sovereigns suffer. Especially in the matter of purple sun fairy race, Qin Yun made all heaven's sovereigns suffer a great loss. In the eyes of Jiang Jiuchuan and Jiang Jiuchuan, Qin Yun is someone even more awesome than all heaven sovereigns. Gentlemen, I want to borrow your strength to set up a trap to capture divine King Jiangxian. Qin Yun went straight to the point. Jiang Daliang and Jiang Jiuchuan have already mentioned this matter, so they are not surprised. Chapter 2458. Although divine King Jiangxian had followed the supremes of the heavens and joined the divine nation, he wasn't completely loyal. An old fox like him always had his own plans. His current strength is not weak. Even though he left the 9 heavens and his heavenly seal is not as strong as before, he is still among the best when compared to other divine kings. Someone like divine King Jiangxian was once one of the 9 heavens' divine kings. How could he be willing to become someone else's subordinate in divine desolate great era? Divine King Jiangxian is very ambitious. He wanted to obtain Qin Yun's heavenly seal. Therefore, if Qin Yun wants to lure divine King Jiangxian into a trap, he must start from this aspect. I asked Jiang Daliang to think of a way to let divine King Jiangxian know that I am trading with Jiang Clan King. Did divine King Jiangxian find out? Qin Yun asked. He knew, but he was not interested. Originally, I want to make up a story and say that we are trading with divine King Heavenly Seal. That would make him suspicious because it is impossible. Jiang Daliang shook his head and said, This is indeed easy to make him suspicious. Who knows, we might even alert him. Qin Yun nodded and said, Then we need to pretend to trade something to attract his attention and lure him out alone. Jiang Jiuchuan said, Divine King Jiangxian knows that I have a good relationship with Palace King. Almost the entire 9 heavens divine race knows that. It is normal if we want to trade something. If divine King Jiangxian knows that Qin Yun and Jiang Jiuchuan are going to trade somewhere, he will definitely inform all Empyrean sovereigns to ambush them. If divine King Jiangxian knows that the item to be traded is very precious, he will go alone. Maybe he will even kill Jiang Jiuchuan and snatch the precious item. The premise is that the item to be traded can move divine King Jiangxian and not make him suspicious. If it is divine King Heavenly Seal or other magic treasures on Qin Yun, divine King Jiangxian will definitely be suspicious. Because everyone knows Qin Yun very well, it is very difficult to get anything from him. He will not take the initiative to trade his number one supreme treasures. Qin Yun, Jiang Zhouchuan, and Jiang Daliang sank into silence. They are thinking about what to trade to make divine King Jiang Xian act alone. Does divine King Jiang Xian have inscription spirit? Qin Yun suddenly asked after a moment of silence. I don't know. Jiang Zhouchuan's eyes lit up as he said, even if he has inscription spirits, no one will complain about having too many. If it is a good inscription spirit, he will definitely want it. What if it's a Star Lord inscription spirit? Qin Yun asked. Star Lord inscription spirit is a very rare inscription spirit. Feasible. Jiang Zhouchuan nodded and said, Star Lord inscription spirit is very rare. He definitely doesn't have it. He often complained that the fineness of his star runes wasn't high enough, and the time required to carve them was too long. If he had a Star Lord inscription spirit, he wouldn't complain so often. There should be many people who know that I already have the Star Lord inscription spirit. Then it's not strange for me to obtain the Star Lord inscription spirit and use it to trade with you. Qin Yun looked at Jiang Zhouchuan and said with smile, Jiang Clan King, you should think about it carefully. Jiang Zhouchuan also furrowed his thick brows. After pondering for a moment, he asked, Palace King, what do you need urgently now? Let's see if I have it or not. If I have it, we can act more realistically. I am very short on transformative space divine stones. I need a large amount of them. Qin Yun asked, Jiang Clan King, do you have something like that? Of course I don't have Star-Lord inscription spirit, but I can use other things to trade with you. We can discuss this later. Jiang Zhouchuan is a divine heavenly lord. He's been staying in the outer region of ancestral Godson for many years. Maybe he has some or knows how to get them. Many people have been looking for transformative space divine stones everywhere recently. I heard that heavenly sovereigns also need a large amount of transformative space divine stones, but they are very rare now. Jiang Daliang said. Jiang Zhouchuan said, I have transformative space divine stones, but not many. My father divine King Jiang Xian also knows that I have some. He came to ask me before, but I didn't give them to him. How many do you have? Qin Yun asked. About 100 Jin. Only enough to set up 2 teleportation formations. Jiang Zhouchuan spread his hands and said with smile, I have been hoarding them for many years. Then is it reasonable to use this amount to trade for Star-Lord inscription spirit? Won't divine King Jiang Xian become suspicious? Qin Yun said with frown. The piece Qin Yun used before was only a few Jin, but it is very precious. Only Space God is willing to give it to Qin Yun. If it were anyone else, they would have asked for some benefits in return. If it is urgent, it is reasonable. Jiang Zhouchuan said. Rumor has it that Sword Forest Desert is like a prison that is being watched by heavenly divine nations. It is very difficult for people to come out. This means that Nanyang Divine Palace needs transformative space divine stones to set up teleportation formations. Jiang Daliang nodded and said, If it is like this, then it is very reasonable. All right, you guys go and take action. Qin Yun took out a sound transmission divine pearl and handed it over to Jiang Zhouchuan. He said, If there is any progress, use this to contact me. Jiang Zhouchuan took the pearl and said in shock, This is a communication magic tool refined from transformative space divine stone. Indeed, I refined it. It is very useful. Qin Yun said with smile. The sound transmission divine pearl Qin Yun gave out can only communicate with the main sound transmission divine pearl in his hand. All sound transmission divine pearls cannot communicate with each other. After Jiang Zhouchuan took the sound transmission divine pearl, he can feel that it is very valuable. This kind of communication magic tool is very expensive. Generally speaking, the main communication magic tool is made into divine talisman, and some transformative space divine stones are mixed into the talisman paper. The advantage is that it is cheap and can save a lot of materials. The disadvantage is that the number of times it can be used is limited. Moreover, the runes inside the talisman have to be regularly updated and maintained. It is very troublesome. Qin Yun's sound transmission divine pearl can save a lot of time, and space penetration is very good. Even if it is inside myriad realms' divine sun, it will not be affected. All right, we will contact you again. Jiang Jiuchuan got up and said. Jiang Daliang also stood up. Qin Yun saw off the father and son duo, then stored the small house and flew towards heavenly divine moon. Before leaving Sword Forest Desert, Qin Yun told Little Phoenix to contact Yu Tian of Heaven Creation Divine Palace. Yu Tian is the Palace Master of Heaven Creation Divine Palace. Qin Yun wants to ask her a few things. There is still more than a month before the Heavenly Dao Pawnshop Conference begins. Qin Yun looked at Dongfang Bingbing inside the Nine Sun Divine Soul. Dongfang Bingbing's range of activity is very limited. She can only move around in a manner inside the Nine Sun Divine Soul. After Zi Qingsheng and Shui Tianzi entered, they often want to find her chat. And that rogue fairy Ling Yun often takes advantage of Dongfang Bingbing. Less than half a day later, Qin Yun arrived at the deep space. He looked down at heavenly divine desolate's land. It is a sea of dazzling golden light. It is reflecting the light of 3 myriad realms' divine suns. It is already impossible to see the land clearly. Even from high up in the sky, Qin Yun cannot see how big heavenly divine desolate is. He also doesn't know where the center is. The center of heavenly divine desolate is a mysterious area, is still a piece of primal chaos. It seems like some powerful creature is being nurtured there. At this time, Qin Yun's sound transmission divine pearl vibrated. Someone is trying to contact him. It's Jiang Jiuchuan. Qin Yun's mental power penetrated the sound transmission divine pearl and read the message. Palace King, I just received news that Divine King Jiang Xian suddenly had an urgent matter. He brought along a few generals and rushed to heavenly divine moon. Jiang Jiuchuan's voice transmitted into Qin Yun's mind. Qin Yun is secretly alarmed. Yu Shangyun also went to heavenly divine moon during this period of time. Do you know why Divine King Jiang Xian went to heavenly divine moon? Qin Yun asked. He is now also flying towards heavenly divine moon. I don't know for now. It is said that Illusion Race's clan emperor also went there, as well as heavenly demon divine king and a few other divine kings. They are all rushing towards heavenly divine moon. Jiang Jiuchuan said. All right, I got it. Qin Yun put away the sound transmission divine pearl. His expression is grave. He increased his speed and flew towards heavenly divine moon. Qin Yun recalled what Yu Shangyun said before. Her bloodline heavenly rune box was lent to a person, and that person wants to use it to create a race. It is very likely that a powerful race will appear in heavenly divine moon, or some kind of mutation will happen. Why did Sister Shangyun bring Sister Ling Long and other inscription masters there? Could it be that she wants to set up a barrier? Qin Yun said in his heart. Sister Steamed Bun, Sister Shangyun is an inscription master and also a pill master. How is her inscription level? Ling Yun asked Zi Qingxing inside the Nine Sun Divine Soul. Her inscription level is extremely high. She is one of the divine moon heavenly daughters, Yu Hua Xue. Her current inscription level can be considered first-rate in Divine Moon Clan and Guanghan Palace. Qin Yun knows that Yu Hua Xue is Yu Shangyun's disciple. It seems like Sister Shangyun is going to set up a barrier. Qin Yun is also guessing. Soon after, he took out a communication talisman. He used the same talisman to contact the Nameless Old Man and the Space God. Nameless Old Man, what happened to Heavenly Divine Moon? I heard that all kinds of big shots are rushing towards Heavenly Divine Moon. Qin Yun asked. I was just about to contact you about this. Heavenly Divine Moon indeed has an accident. I don't know the specifics. I only heard from the Divine Chief that the Heavenly Divine Moon's dangerous barrier has weakened and an extremely powerful creature has appeared inside. The Nameless Old Man said. A creature that just appeared? What type is it? Qin Yun asked. It might be a human. It might be a beast. It might even be a fairy. The Nameless Old Man chuckled and said, Palace King, we will go there immediately. Are you going? I'm on the way, Qin Yun said. He is still a distance away from Heavenly Divine Moon. We could directly teleport there. The Nameless Old Man laughed and said, Then we might arrive before you. After we set foot on the divine moonland, we will contact again. So what if you have a teleportation pearl? Sooner or later, I will have one too. Qin Yun curled his lips. He is not in a hurry right now. Otherwise, he will be able to reach there very quickly through the little ant queen's spatial divine power. The deep space is very spacious and empty. Although the sky is filled with stars at night, the distance between the stars is extremely far. Chapter 2459. Qin Yun sensed that there are people behind him and immediately concealed himself. Just as he concealed himself, the commotion of the people flying behind him became even bigger. There are a total of 10 people. When they were flying, they used a very high speed and did not conceal their aura at all, causing a huge commotion. When experts fly at high speed, their energy would form a bubble that enveloped their body. While flying, they would not be disturbed by any kind of airflow. The bubble is formed by very strong divine power. When moving at high speed, it will collide with the weak divine power in the void and produce a strange vibration sound. Sometimes when the bubble explodes, it will also release a very strong shock wave. When Qin Yun is flying, he will choose a suitable speed to avoid creating a huge commotion. At the same time, his speed will not slow down. This is mainly to avoid attracting enemies and to be able to travel in a low-key manner. The dozen or so people flying over can be said to be very high profile. The bubble film released from their body is very large and very thick. It produces intense multicolored light like shooting stars. When they fly at an extremely fast speed, not only do they create a low vibration wave, they also release a very strong divine power fluctuation that can be sensed from far away. Are these guys competing? Qin Yun is secretly alarmed. Those who dare to fly in such a high-profile manner in this kind of place are all extremely strong, because in the void, there is a certain amount of danger. The 12 light balls whizzed past Qin Yun at an extremely fast speed. In just a blink of an eye, the dozen or so light balls have pulled apart a large distance from Qin Yun. They are also going to the heaven's divine moon. Qin Yun immediately chased after them. If he flew at full speed, he would still be able to keep up. Originally, he was not in a hurry to go to the heaven's divine moon, but now that he saw the mysterious expert flying towards the heaven's divine moon, he also flew at full speed. When he flew at full speed, he only consumed a lot of energy, but he could still maintain a very quiet state. This is mainly due to the nether sun in his body. It can produce a devouring power that absorbs all the energy waves and all kinds of commotion produced by flying at full speed. Qin Yun is now like a ghost, quietly following the 12 light balls. After following them, he became even more shocked. After maintaining the same speed as the 12 light balls, Qin Yun used his heavenly eye and could clearly see that the people inside the light balls are all young people. These guys are at least at the Dao God realm, close to Shintian Lord, but they're all so young. What is their background? Qin Yun is very sure that these 12 youths are definitely not from the divine nations. Are there any characteristics to their divine power aura? Ling Yun'er asked, could they be creatures born from the divine sun's core? Among the divine power aura left behind by their high-speed flight, there is indeed a very strong aura of the myriad realms' divine sun power. Qin Yun could easily sense it as he followed behind. Previously, among the 3 myriad realms' divine suns, only the core region of the ancestral god sun had living beings, which are the sun dragons. Second god sun and 3 god suns core regions were in a chaotic state when Qin Yun entered. Is it really a living being from the divine yang core? It hadn't even been that long, and such a powerful creature had already been born? It's just that young people are all close to Shun Tianju in strength. Qin Yun is very astonished. After all, this is the divine sun's core region. Even if they are very strong, in the face of the descendants of the divine sun in the myriad realms, aren't they just sending themselves to their deaths? Ling Yun'er said, the descendants of the divine sun are the most terrifying. Fortunately, they are currently unable to leave the myriad realms' divine sun and can only constantly devour the life force of the myriad realms' divine Sunday. There is still a long distance between them and the divine moon of the heavens. Qin Yin followed behind and did not discover anything. Just as Qin Yin relaxed, he sensed that there are people behind him. Furthermore, a very strong dragon aura surged out. It's the Sun Dragon race. There are also 12 of them, Qin Yin said in shock. Just as Qin Yin sensed that someone was chasing after him, the 12 beams of light suddenly rushed over. Their speed is even faster than the previous 12. Boom! Qin Yin was unable to dodge in time and was hit by one of the beams of light. To be precise, he was hit by a human-formed sun dragon. This collision didn't cause any commotion. It was mainly absorbed by Qin Yun's gravity barrier. The gravity barrier that Qin Yun released was released instinctively. Not only can it block the collision, it also has a devouring power. It could devour all kinds of energy to weaken the collision. Even so, Qin Yun was still sent flying far away, and the one who hit him is actually a woman. 12. Isn't your bubble membrane a little too weak? It broke in an instant. We won't wait for you, slow turtle. A burst of laughter came from the front. It was a man who was laughing at the woman who hit Qin Yun. The other 11 youths of the Sun Dragon race continued to fly, without looking back, chasing after the 12 youths at the front. Qin Yun could tell that this was a competition. He felt somewhat apologetic in his heart, as he hurriedly flew towards the angry woman. This woman has a beautiful and fair round face. Her eyes are very big and clear. At this moment, she is very angry. Her face is puffed up, and her clear eyes are filled with hidden bitterness and confusion, because she doesn't know why she suddenly bumped into something while flying. While she was flying, she had already released a very strong mental power to probe ahead. She did not detect any obstructions, but she bumped into something, causing her bubble membrane to explode. Miss, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Don't cry, it's my fault I've let you down. Just as Qin Yun went over, he saw tears rolling down the woman's clear eyes. He hurriedly apologized. When the woman saw that someone was nearby, she jumped in fright. She hurriedly said, I'm not crying. When I'm angry, I cry. It's my nature. As she spoke, she wiped her big, watery eyes. She did not seem to be crying, and her voice did not sound like she was crying. That's good. Qin Yun felt relieved and said with a smile. The woman sized up Qin Yun. When she saw that Qin Yun was wearing a blue robe with dragon transformation runes, she could not help but feel a sense of familiarity. In addition, it was also because she saw that Qin Yun's face was handsome, his eyes were like bright stars, and his smile was very amiable. Did I just bump into you? The woman asked in a low voice. That's right. Are you all right? Qin Yun asked. I should be the one asking you. The woman said anxiously. Are you all right? If a large meteorite were to be hit by me, it would most likely shatter. Not only are you not dead, you are not even injured at all. Qin Yun said with a smile. Do I look like someone who is easily injured? Seeing that Qin Yun is talking and laughing, the woman felt relieved. Her round and charming face revealed a smile. There is a small dimple on the left side of her face. She said with a smile, Do I look like someone who likes to cry? Of course not. I just saw you crying and thought that you were crying. Qin Yun also cannot help but laugh heartily. I'm the one crying. When I'm angry, I unknowingly shed tears. Those guys really like to make me angry and then watch me cry in anger. So hateful. The woman said with a smile. That's why I rarely get angry. The more they make me angry, the more I want to laugh. A girl who loves to laugh, her luck won't be too bad. Qin Yun said with a smile. No way. I'm very bad now. I almost injured you. The woman is still worried that Qin Yun would be injured because Qin Yun doesn't seem to be very strong. I'm really fine. Oh, that's right. Are you guys competing in speed? I'm really sorry for delaying you. Aren't you going to quickly catch up? Qin Yun looked ahead and discovered that he can no longer see any light specks. I'm not chasing. I won't be able to catch up. The woman floated in the air and suddenly took out 2 large red fruits. They look very delicious, and she handed one to Qin Yun. Here, this is a fire dragon pear. It's very sweet. Then, she took a big bite of the fruit in her hand and very happily ate it. Thank you. Qin Yun received it with a smile and also very happily ate. You're welcome. The woman said with sweet smile while eating, "Brother, you are a human. Why are you so hard? You were hit by me, and yet you are completely fine. Could it be that humans are very fragile?" Chinyan said with smile. While eating the delicious and sweet fruit, he flew towards the heavenly divine moon. The woman also followed beside Chinyan. She said, "That's right. My big brother said that the human body is like paper. It can be easily torn apart." Chinyan shook his head and smiled. "There are so many humans. There are strong and weak. You are an inscription master, right? My big brother said that an inscription master's inscription is very powerful, but it is like a soft-boned shrimp. It can be pinched to death." The woman looked at Chinyan and said doubtfully, "But you are not soft at all." Chinyan shook his head with a smile and asked, "Oh right, who are you competing with?" "We are competing with the heavenly lion race in speed." The woman waved her hand. "We let them fly for a while before chasing. They can't fly faster than us." Indeed, Chinyan could tell that the sun dragon race's speed was stronger than the heavenly lion race. What shocked him is that the heavenly lion race was born inside the myriad realms' divine sunland. He remembered that the heavenly lion old ancestor was still inside the divine sunland, but he did not know where he was. Now that the heavenly lion race had appeared, it meant that the heavenly lion old ancestor was already free. He might even be the race emperor of a race. "All right, I'm Yang Long Tingting. What's your name?" Yang Long Tingting asked. "I am." Chinyan paused and decided to hide his name. After all, within the heavenly divine moon, there are divine King Jiangxian and the others. "My surname is Da, and my name is Cousin. You can call me Big Cousin or Older Cousin." "Ah, this name is so strange." "Big Cousin?" Yang Long Tingting frowned. She felt that this name was strange. "You can also call me Cousin," Chinyan said with a smile. "This is not my real name." Yang Long Tingting chuckled and said, "Humph, you are not honest. My grandfather said that names are like floating clouds. They are dispensable. I see different people with different names." Chinyan said with a smile. "That's right. I want to be like this in the future. I want to have a different name." "Ha ha." Yang Long Tingting laughed and said, "From now on, I will be called Yang Long Out Yin." When Chinyan heard this name, he nearly spat out the fruit in his mouth. Chapter 2460. When Chinyan saw how cheerful and lively Yang Longtingting was, he was infected by her and could not help but laugh. He felt that Yang Longtingting was too naive. It could even be said that she did not have a mind of her own, which was not a good thing. Otherwise, he would need to be very vigilant when encountering strangers in such a place. Tingting, in the divine desolate, people's hearts are sinister. No matter who you meet, you must be on guard, understand? Chinyan is like an elder, imparting life experience to Long Tingting. Yang Long Tingting giggled and said, "Of course I know. I'm not on guard against you because you look like that. You're not as strong as me, so of course I'm not on guard against you." "You actually underestimated Big Cousin," Chinyan said with a smile. "I am not weak at all." "Of course you're not weak, but you're not as strong as me." Yang Long Tingting laughed. "Big Cousin, why are you going to the divine moon?" "I heard something happen over there, so I want to go and take a look." Chinyan looked ahead and suddenly sped up a bit. Yang Long Tingting also increased her speed to catch up. If not for being with Chinyan, she would have already flown to the front. "Ah," Yang Long Tingting asked, "Cousin, do you know?" Chinyan shook his head and said, "I also don't know." "Since you don't know, why did you go to the moon of heavens?" "Because the elders told us to go." "Two elders went," Yang Long Tingting said. "They should have already arrived. We juniors are still on the way." "What's going on with the Heavenly Lion clan? Are they stronger or are you stronger?" Chinyan asked. "You want to know more about the Heavenly Lion race?" "The Heavenly Lion race has two divine sons," Yang Long Tingting said. "Our strength is the same as the Heavenly Lion races. We haven't fought before. The elders won't let us fight." A powerful race had already appeared in the core of the second divine sun, and it was the Heavenly Lion race. "What about the three divine sons?" "Tingting, when we reach the gods desolate, I will follow you. If someone asks, just say that I'm your friend." Qin Yun thought for a moment and said, "Oh, right. Tell them that I am a mute and can't speak." "Cousin, are you going to pretend to be mute? This seems quite fun." Yang Long Tingting smiled and said, "All right, I will cooperate with you when the time comes." Qin Yun thought for a moment, then took out 2 tufts of beard and smeared it on. Then he changed his hairstyle into a set of rather old-fashioned gray clothes. "Cousin, why are you acting like this?" Yang Long Tingting asked curiously. "I have a lot of enemies," Qin Yun honestly said. "Then don't be afraid. I can help you beat them away." Yang Long Tingting stroked Qin Yun's beard and said with a smile, "Anything else? I also want a mustache or 2. Stop fooling around." Qin Yun smiled and pushed her hand away, then said seriously, "My enemies are all very strong, but Shun Tianjuan's cultivation is very high." Yang Long Tingting was shocked and felt that it was impossible. "How did you provoke Shun Tian, Lord? It can't be helped. I'm quite a rash person. Those guys couldn't stand being contradicted by others, so they wanted to kill me." Qin Yun casually made up a reason. "All right." Yang Long Tingting is rather straightforward. She also promised Qin Yun that she would not expose him. "You're quite loyal," Qin Yun said with a smile. Qin Yun is also not confident in going to Heaven's divine moon this time. His current cultivation is not strong enough. If he really had to face divine King Jiangxian and the others, his strength is also not enough. Therefore, he doesn't want to get involved in the battle. He only wants to safely land on Divine Moon's land and think of a way to find Xie Karu. He wants to ask her some questions and also find out about the Bloodline Heavenly Rune Box. He feels that Heaven's sovereign emperors might not come because Heaven's Divine Moon situation is not stable. Previously, divine kings from other divine realm descended to Heaven's Divine Moon's land. In the end, they were seriously injured and almost died. Now Heaven's Divine Moon is not that irritable, but no one knows when it will go crazy again. Heaven's sovereign emperors must have some misgivings about this, so they won't personally go to Heaven's Divine Moon. Maybe he can learn more about Heaven's Divine Moon situation through Heaven Creation Divine Palace. Qin Yun and Yang Long Tingting are chatting. He wants to ask about the ancestral godson's internal situation, but Yang Long Tingting is tight-lipped. She didn't talk about the core region's details or the divine son's descendants. There are many things in the core region that must be kept secret. Although Yang Long Tingting is carefree and looks very forthright, she didn't talk about the internal matters. Qin Yun and Yang Long Tingting gradually increased their speed and rushed towards Heaven's Divine Moon. They can see that Heaven's Divine Moon is very big, but it is still far away. After flying for more than half a day, the distance has not shortened. Qin Yun flew with Yang Long Tingting. He deliberately slowed down to hide Yang Long Tingting's aura. However, Yang Long Tingting's formidable dragon aura is constantly surging in all directions. After all, they are Sun Dragon race's dragons. Moreover, they're inside the ancestral god Sun, so they have their own arrogance. They are not afraid of any factions in Heaven's divine desolate. When they travel around, they never hide. They also don't learn aura concealment techniques. Therefore, when they use their formidable divine power, they always release a very strong aura. It is just like in a forest, a beast king releasing its aura to intimidate the other beasts in the surroundings, preventing them from approaching. It is not that Yang Long Tingting is not low-key. Rather, this is the instinctive behavior of the Sun Dragon since birth. They are born with formidable sacred god cultivation. With a bit of cultivation, they can become Tao gods. They can indeed show disdain for all outstanding heroes. They are not afraid of any faction, except the descendants of Divine Sunday. Even though Qin Yun helped Yang Long Tingting conceal her aura, he still can't completely conceal it, causing them to be discovered. Now, something was catching up to them. More and more people are flying towards Heaven's Divine Moon. Therefore, Qin Yun has to keep a low profile to avoid unnecessary trouble. Why are there so many people going to Heaven's Divine Moon? Could it be that some news has spread? Qin Yun is puzzled. Not long after, a 10-meter-long boat approached from behind. That golden boat released intense golden light. It flew over like golden lightning. Its speed is very fast. Big cousin, don't worry. Leave everything to me. Yang Long Ting sensed that the boat is rushing towards them and immediately took out a white dragonhead saber. White light suddenly appeared on her body. White dragon scales turned into armor, making her look very majestic, like a powerful female dragon war god. After the boat flew over, it immediately stopped. A black armored man stood on the bow of the boat. Behind him, more than 10 large men wearing black armor came out one after another. It is indeed the Sun Dragon race. That cold and aloof youth glanced at Yang Long Ting. His ice-cold face revealed a smile filled with joy. Who are you? What noble purpose do you have? Yang Long Ting asked. My background is very big. Of course, a silly little girl like you might not have heard of me. That cold and aloof youth said with sneer. Humph. Yang Long Ting snorted and then wanted to fly away with Qin Yun. That cold and aloof youth suddenly flew out of the boat. The other large men also surrounded her. What are you doing? You know that I am from the Sun Dragon race. Why aren't you getting out of the way? Yang Long Ting shouted loudly. I am from the Variant Dragon race. The Variant Dragon race is very large, but they have recently unified, and I am the son of the Variant Dragon race's emperor, Mad Dragon Lord. Mad Dragon Lord sized up Yang Long Ting and said with evil smile, Don't tell me that your Sun Dragon race doesn't know about our Variant Dragon race's big movement. You. Yang Long Ting's expression changed. She clearly knows about it. Qin Yun heard about the Variant Dragon race a long time ago, but he did not expect that they would be so large in the Divine Desolate. Now that they have unified, they must be a very powerful faction. Our Variant Dragon race loves to find powerful dragon race like you, especially a little female dragon like you. You're the most suitable for me to pluck. It can make my dragon blood even stronger. Mad Dragon Lord said with evil smile. While Mad Dragon Lord is laughing heartily, those middle-aged men's arms suddenly turned into dragon claws tightly holding black large sabers. Qin Yun's brows creased. He released an extremely dreadful supergravity and fiercely pressed down. Those middle-aged men just took out their large sabers and were immediately pressed down. Their bodies are also under great pressure. After Mad Dragon Lord was pressed down by the supergravity, his expression changed greatly. He released his divine power and realized that it is actually a divine heaven lord. Qin Yun could roughly guess that Mad Dragon Lord had just broken through to Divine Sky Lord, and the dozen or so middle-aged men were not weak either. Qin Yun's 2 fingers joined together and quickly pointed at Mad Dragon Lord's head. He used Heaven Extinction 9 fingers, piercing heaven. Impudent. Mad Dragon Lord is furious. His body surged with powerful body-protecting dragon handle and blocked Qin Yun's piercing heaven finger power. Boom! The finger power landed on the body-protecting dragon handle barrier, causing a loud explosion and intense light. Mad Dragon Lord was also pushed back. Qin Yun's supergravity was also pushed back by Mad Dragon Lord. Let's go. Qin Yun grabbed Yang Long Ting's hand and used Transcending Void Step to leave through space. He didn't even leave behind any aura. Yang Long Ting's heart was palpitating just now. She naturally knew that with her strength, she would not be able to defeat Mad Dragon Lord, so she was prepared to fight to the death. However, she never expected that Qin Yun would be able to escape with her in just a few moves. Big cousin brother, are we safe? Yang Long Ting did not even have time to react and discovered that she is inside a flying magic tool. It is Qin Yun's Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Qin Yun is inside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle's main control room. He is controlling the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to become invisible. He nodded his head. I originally wanted to kill that guy, but I discovered that his armor is very hard. It's not easy to kill him. Moreover, there are also a few Variant Dragon race's large ships nearby. That guy only used a very fast boat to chase after us. You are really strong. Yang Long Tingting said with admiration. Big cousin brother, no wonder you are so low-key. So this world is filled with danger everywhere. That's why you have to be careful in the future, especially when you're roaming Jianghu alone. Qin Yun said, Variant Dragon Race is watching you. Human-eating devil is also watching you. In their eyes, you sun dragons are top-quality delicacies. Qin Yun is not trying to scare Yang Long Tingting. He has seen how much 9 Heaven Demon race and 9 Heaven Divine race like to eat all kinds of living beings. The blue light on the surface of the heavens divine moon suddenly disappeared. Chapter 2461. Qin Yun, Yang Long Tingting, and Yang Long Tingting are very shocked by the sudden burst of silver light. Yang Long Tingting let out a cry of alarm when she saw the change of heaven's divine moon. Cousin, what's the situation outside? Is that light harmful? I'm worried about my brothers and sisters. Yang Long Tingting asked. Qin Yun sensed the situation outside and said, It's nothing. It's just a very strong storm. It's just that the storm has a mystical moonlight. Divine moon storm? If that's the case, it will definitely be very hurtful. Yang Long Tingting said. This is what the clan elders said. Is that so? I didn't feel it just now. Don't tell me I have to go out to feel it. Qin Yun frowned. Although the Heaven Leaping Shuttle is rather old, it was refined by the space god in Qin Yun back then. Many of the materials came from inside the sun, so its defense is still rather strong. Let's go out and take a look. Those bastards from a variant dragon race shouldn't be nearby, right? Yang Long Tingting is still rather afraid of the variant dragon race, mainly because she is not strong enough. If she had more people on her side, they would have already started fighting earlier. All right, let's go out together. Qin Yun controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and teleported Yang Long and Tingting outside to experience the divine moonstorm. After going out, Yang Long Tingting's eyebrows are slightly knitted. Her round face is puffed up. Her expression looks like she is in pain. Qin Yun is actually fine. He is standing on the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and looking at the incoming moonlight gale. He can see that the silver, sparkling, and translucent moonlight within the gale is blowing on his body and entering his body. However, when the silver light entered his body, it was immediately refined by the nether moon and nether Sunday. Big cousin, how come you are completely fine? My soul is feeling a stabbing pain. This gale is giving me a headache. Yang Long Tingting said in low voice. Qin Yun's expression is relaxed. Only his hair is messed up. He is completely fine. Really? Qin Yun didn't even try to resist, but he doesn't feel any pain. It's getting more and more painful. I can't resist the divine power that is stabbing my soul. Yang Long Tingting tightly held Qin Yun's hand and said in low voice, Let's go back. Qin Yun immediately brought Yang Long and Tingting back to the main control room of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Here, they can still see waves of light mist surging out from the huge divine moon of the heavens. Much more comfortable, Yang Long Tingting let out a long sigh and sat down on the wide chair. Big cousin, you're really amazing. You're actually fine. Are you the Lord of Heaven? How can he be so strong? No, I'm still a saint god. Qin Yun said with a smile. Then it must be because your Taoist image is very powerful. Yang Long Tingting sighed lightly. The elders in the clan said that some monsters deliberately hold back their breakthroughs and use a long time to polish their Tao image. If they cultivate their Tao image to the extreme, they will be very strong. Qin Yun did not deny it. He controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to fly forward. The divine moon of the heavens was in the place of the outer fringe. Previously, there was a layer of blue light enveloping it. That layer of blue light was still very dangerous. When the other divine kings of the divine world entered, they almost died inside. Now, the blue light had disappeared, and the divine moon in the heavens had returned to its original appearance. However, it was blowing out a very strong divine moonstorm. Qin Yun took out the communication talisman and contacted the nameless old man to understand the situation on his side. The nameless old man, Divine Judge and the others have already arrived at the surface of the divine moon of the heavens. They had no choice but to release a large hall and enter it to avoid the violent wind. Even they are like Yang Long Ting Ting. They have a headache from being blown by the wind and are unable to resist the divine moon storm's invasion of their souls. Qin Yun previously thought that Yang Long Ting Ting's cultivation was too low, so she was unable to resist. Who would have thought that even the divine judge and the nameless old man would feel dizzy from the violent wind? Qin Yun contacted Little Phoenix again. He wanted to ask the Guanghan Palace if there are any women who know what is going on. Little Phoenix only said that she would ask the powerful sisters about it. It seems like there is no progress on the surface of the divine moon of the heavens for now. Qin Yun is even more in no hurry to go to the divine moonland. He suddenly controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to slow down and fly to another direction. Big cousin, are we going to the divine moon of the heavens? Where are we going? Yang Long Ting Ting saw Qin Yun suddenly change direction and said in shock, "Let's go harass the mad dragon sovereign." Qin Yun chuckled and said, "This guy was very arrogant just now. It was also because he had a lot of people around him that I couldn't make a move." This kind of environment is very beneficial to Qin Yun because he won't feel any pain inside the divine moonstorm, and the souls of other living beings will suffer the attack of the divine moonstorm. Are we really going? Isn't it very dangerous? Yang Long Ting Ting is now somewhat afraid. Let's go take a look first. In this kind of situation, they definitely won't dare to come out. Qin Yun said with a smile, "That's true. Then do you know where they are?" Yang Long Ting Ting naturally wants to teach the Mad Dragon Sovereign a lesson, but her strength is not enough. In the void of the universe, there are no obstacles, no mountains or anything like that. Therefore, after Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye, he can see very far. He is inside the control room of the heaven-leaping shuttle. His eyes are blue and constantly flickering. Not only can he see very far now, he can also clearly see things far away. Even if the divine moonstorm is blowing, his heavenly eye can still see through the storm. Not long after, he caught a small shadow and promptly focused his attention on that small shadow. Although it is a small shadow from far away, upon closer inspection, he discovered that it is a 1,000-meter-long ship. And upon closer inspection, he can see that there are a few other similar large ships beside the ship. Mad Dragon Sovereign was riding a 10-meter-long small ship before. Now he is flying around the large ship. Found it! Qin Yun took out 2 space divine power pearls and controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to travel through space. After the heaven-leaping shuttle traveled through space, the 2 floating space divine power pearls were instantly sucked dry of divine power. So awesome! Yang Long Ting Ting shouted in shock. She feels that her luck is too good. She can actually meet such an awesome and amazing person. Moreover, he is so kind-hearted. In an instant, the heaven-leaping shuttle arrived near the large ship. Inside the control room, Yang Long Ting Ting also saw Mad Dragon Sovereign's dazzling golden boat. Although it is a small boat, it is decorated very luxuriously. If I get close, will they see my face? Yang Long Ting Ting suddenly became nervous. No, my flying magic tool is invisible, Qin Yun said with a smile. So awesome. It can travel through space and even become invisible. This thing is too amazing, Yang Long Ting Ting said in amazement. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye again and looked at the small boat. He discovered that Mad Dragon Sovereign is also on the boat. That guy is very strong. Moreover, the variant dragon race's great army is here. It won't be easy to kill him. Qin Yun took out the God King spear and stuffed a few purplish-red pellets into it. Zi Qingsheng and Shui Tianzi are inside the 9-Sun Divine Soul. They're also helping to refine pellets. Qin Yun has a small black bottle that contains a large amount of sun flame liquid. Zi Qingsheng and Shui Tianzi extracted a large amount of sun flame liquid from the black bottle, and then let Yang Yang help guide divine power from the divine universe, purple sun, into the pill transformation, heavenly furnace, to refine pellets. Qin Yun's God King spear has now turned into a golden-red large spear. Back when he roamed Earth, he saw a very large and domineering sniper rifle called something super large cannon sniper rifle. Now the God King spear has turned into this shape. What is this thing? Yang Long Tingting is standing in front of the muzzle. She is looking at the large muzzle and poking it with her finger. Cannon sniper rifle, specialized in dealing with all kinds of disobedience. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. Ting Ting, stand behind me. I will let you see how awesome Big Cousin Spear is. Oh, is this thing very awesome? Could it be a weapon? But it's not sharp. Yang Long Tingting immediately stood behind Qin Yun. Qin Yun aimed at the 10-meter long boat ahead, opened the window of the main control room, and pulled the trigger. Bang! A crisp sound burst out. Yang Long Tingting jumped in fright. Then she became even more scared out of her wits. Because after the boat, not far away, was hit, it burst out with incomparably large purple flame. The rising flame is like a large, evil, purplish-red mushroom slowly rising up, slowly expanding and becoming bigger. It is very spectacular. Yang Long Tingting's eyeballs almost popped out. She covered her small mouth. She was standing in front of the muzzle, just now. If she was hit, her little life would be gone. Bang! Just when Yang Long Tingting is scared silly, Qin Yun shot again. This time it hit the several hundred-meter-long boat. Another burst of intense purplish-red light burst out, followed by a huge purplish-red mushroom rising up. All right. Qin Yun turned the God King spear back into a small pistol, then put it on his waist and said with smile, It's enough for them to drink a pot of wine. Big cousin, from now on you are my blood cousin. After Yang Long Tingting recovered from her shock, she excitedly hugged Qin Yun. You are so much higher than my brothers and sisters. Don't be excited. Let me see where Mad Dragon Lord is. We will go take care of him. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and searched for Mad Dragon Lord. Very quickly, he found Mad Dragon Lord. He is covered in dust. He looks like he's been scared silly, and there is no one beside him. Let's go, let's go. Qin Yun stepped on the air and arrived in front of Mad Dragon Lord with Yang Long Tingting. As soon as he arrived, Qin Yun threw out the heaven-locking chain and wrapped it around Mad Dragon Lord's neck. It's you, Mad Dragon Lord suddenly shouted. Father, quickly save me. Who is it? An incomparably berserk and tyrannical voice came from all direction. Qin Yun's brows creased. He promptly released divine power to block. Yang Long Tingting vomited blood because of the pressure. Even Mad Dragon Lord himself vomited blood because of his father's divine power. I'll let you go this time. Next time you act arrogantly in front of me, I won't be polite. Qin Yun took back the heaven-locking chain and returned to the heaven-leaping shuttle with Yang Long Tingting. After Qin Yun and Yang Long Tingting left, a tall and sturdy middle-aged man slowly landed in front of Mad Dragon Lord. Father, why didn't you attack? Mad Dragon Lord endured the pain and asked. His soul is in great pain. This middle-aged man is the variant dragon race's emperor. I can't go all out in this divine moonstorm. Variant dragon race's Emperor Shiming's face is filled with scars. His large tyrannical eyes looked at the direction where Qin Yun disappeared and said in deep voice, That person was not affected by the storm. How is this possible? Father, even you, Mad Dragon Lord said in low voice. Chapter 2462. If Qin Yun had killed Mad Dragon Lord, he might not have been able to escape. That Variant Dragon Emperor is still very strong. Variant Dragon Emperor also doesn't dare to attack Qin Yun because he is worried that both sides will suffer. So as long as Qin Yun doesn't kill Mad Dragon Lord, he won't attack. Therefore, both of them have a tacit understanding and stop fighting. Qin Yun is inside the main control room. He is still vigilant against the Variant Dragon Emperor. He is worried that the Variant Dragon Emperor will chase after him. Yang Long Tingting's complexion was much better. She had just been shaken by the divine might of the outsider dragon race emperor to the point of vomiting blood. She was not the Shun Tian Lord yet. But if she were to face an ordinary Shantian lord, she would still be able to fight. But facing an extremely strong Shun Tianjun, like the variant Dragon Emperor, the disparity is very obvious. She is sitting on a chair and healing her injuries. She looked at Qin Yun and felt even more admiration in her heart. He is actually completely fine. To be able to fight against the variant Dragon Emperor, even if his cultivation is not as high as the variant Dragon Emperor's, he should not be lacking in any aspect. Big cousin, that guy just now is the variant Dragon Emperor. It is too scary. Yang Long Tingting said in low voice with lingering fear. How strong is your Sun Dragon Emperor compared to that guy? Qin Yun asked. It should be about the same. In short, our Sun Dragon race is not afraid of the variant Dragon race. The variant Dragon Emperor has arrived. What exactly happened in Myriad Heaven's Divine Moon? Qin Yun looked at Myriad Heaven's Divine Moon. The Divine Moon storm became even stronger. The Heaven-leaping shuttle is also moving forward while facing the gale. Its speed has become much slower. I actually heard the new race might appear inside Myriad Heaven's Divine Moon. This is just the speculation of our clan's elders. Yang Long Tingting suddenly said. Even if a new race appeared, it shouldn't attract so many great people's attention. Qin Yun's brows are tightly knitted. This is precisely what he is worried about. If a new race is going to appear in Myriad Heaven's Divine Moon, it must be related to the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern Box. Yu Shangyun once lent out a Bloodline Heavenly Pattern Box to someone to create a powerful race, and even now she has not been able to get it back. The Bloodline Heavenly Pattern Box in her hand is related to Divine Moon. Then the race created might be inside Myriad Heaven's Divine Moon. What kind of powerful race is it? Qin Yun is somewhat worried. It is an extremely brutal and powerful race. In God Desolate, the Nine Heavens Demon race and Nine Heavens God race were now called man-eating demons. There were also the Eight Dao race, White Sun Elf race, etc. These powerful races had joined God Kingdom of Gods, causing chaos in God Desolate. Not long after, different races would definitely be born. Just as Qin Yun was thinking about this matter, his communication talisman suddenly vibrated. It was the nameless old man contacting him. Palace King, there's a situation in Mystic Moonland. The nameless old man's voice transmitted into Qin Yun's mind. It is very serious. What's the situation? Qin Yun asked anxiously. There are a lot of people. Those people were all very strong. They're surrounding our hall. The nameless old man said. They haven't attacked yet. Then you must be careful. Qin Yun is alarmed. Indeed, a powerful race has appeared on the Divine Moon of the heavens. Don't worry. If we can't beat them, we'll teleport away immediately. From the looks of it, those people do not have any intention of attacking. The nameless old man said, they might have been born along with the Divine Moon transformation realm. It's good that you're safe. We'll contact you again. Qin Yun said. Qin Yun promptly instructed Zi Qingsheng and Shui Tianzi to make a few more pellets inside the Nine Sun Divine Spirit. If they were to face many people, they could directly use the Divine King Spear to shoot them. The effect would be pretty good. Soon after, he secretly took out the Divine King Heavenly Seal. After testing it out, he could still sense 3 myriad realms, divine suns. If necessary, he could use the Divine King Heavenly Seal to unleash the Nine-Sun World Extermination Scripture and summon the descent of super calamity and tribulation. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew for 2 days, and the Divine Moon storm suddenly stopped. Qin Yun immediately contacted the nameless old man and found out that the people surrounding them have also disappeared. He doesn't know where they went. At this time, Qin Yun received a message from Little Phoenix. Little Phoenix said that the Guanghan Palace doesn't know the exact situation. They only know that the Divine Moon Transformation Realm has succeeded. The Divine Moon Transformation Realm has succeeded. It means that the Divine Moon race can return to the Divine Moon of the heavens. However, the Divine Moon of the heavens is not like before. It doesn't have a natural barrier defense. Anyone can enter the Divine Moon land. Before, only the Guanghan Palace and the divine moon race could enter the barrier of the divine moon of the heavens. They dominated the entire divine moon of the heavens. But now it's no longer possible. As long as they have the strength to go to the divine moon of the heavens, they can occupy an area on the divine moon of the heavens. After the divine moon transformation realm has succeeded, there might be some rare and precious treasures, so all the big shots from all over the place swarmed over. It doesn't matter if the moon's surface is occupied, but the divine moon's core area must be controlled by Sister Shangyun and the others. It could be foreseen that in the following days, the Guanghan Palace and the divine moon race will face great challenges. If they want to control the moon's core, they might have to engage in a very intense struggle. The mysterious, powerful race that appeared on the divine moon of the heavens might also want to seize the moon's core. Let's go. Qin Yun brought Yanglong Tingting and flew out of the heaven-leaping shuttle. They're getting closer and closer to the divine moon of the heavens. Not long after they fly, they will arrive on the surface of the divine moon of the heavens. Big cousin, I am contacting my clansmen. Do you want to come with me? A very small golden dragon scale appeared in Yanglong Tingting's hand. It is emitting multicolored light. Qin Yun felt that it is not bad to mingle with the sun dragon race. So he nodded in agreement and said, "You must not mention our encounter with the mad dragon monarch." "All right, cousin wants to keep a low profile, I know," Yanglong Tingting said with a charming smile. Not long after, Yanglong Tingting contacted the people of the sun dragon race. Other than the youngsters who were with her before, there are also a few elders. In addition, the Sun Dragon race and the Heavenly Lion race are together. When they join forces, their overall strength is extremely strong. This will allow them to explore the divine moon of the heavens more safely. Qin Yun and Yanglong Tingting landed on the divine moon's land. The soil here is silvery white and very soft, emitting a faint cold air. "Is this the moon's surface?" Yanglong Tingting said with a smile. "There's nothing special about it. Go find your clansmen first," Qin Yun said. "All right." The dragon scale in Yanglong Tingting's hand could determine the direction of the sun dragon. She brought Qin Yun and ran in a certain direction. Qin Yun took out the communication talisman and contacted the nameless old man. "Palace King, have you arrived at the divine moon land?" The nameless old man asked. "I'm here. Have you made any progress?" Qin Yun asked. "Not yet, but the chief divine judge is very sure that there will be many rare treasures appearing in the divine moon of heavens after the place of the outer fringe." The nameless old man said with a smile. The divine moon storm from before was shaken out from the moon's core. Many rare treasures might have appeared on the surface along with the shaking just now. Qin Yun doesn't really care about those rare treasures. He only wants to quickly know the situation of the entire divine moon. He took out the soul-chasing talisman and looked at Yu Shangyun's location. She is also in the direction he and Yanglong Tingting are currently heading. Yanglong Tingting brought Qin Yun and ran for a while. Suddenly, she said with some excitement, "Big cousin, my brothers and sisters are right in front." The brothers and sisters she spoke of are not related to her by blood. They are just dragon eggs that were placed in the same nest and hatched together. She hatched the latest, so she is the youngest, ranked 12th. There are no elders in front. Qin Yun released his mental power and detected that there is no Shun Tianjun in front. He said doubtfully, "There are 40 to 50 people in front. Your brothers and sisters, even if you add in the Heavenly Lion race, there are only 20 of them. Let's go take a look first." Yanglong Tingting said in low voice and also became vigilant. Qin Yun promptly stepped forward and grabbed Yanglong Tingting's hand. Then he used invisibility technique to make them invisible. "Let's slow down, float in the air, and carefully fly over." Qin Yun transmitted his voice to Yanglong Tingting. "All right." Yanglong Tingting knows that Qin Yun is very powerful, so she feels quite at ease. Before they even got close, Qin Yun sensed the aura of the 9 Heavens Divine Race and 9 Heavens Divine Demon in front of them. "It's the Man-Eater." Qin Yun transmitted his voice to Yanglong Tingting. On the way here, Qin Yun and Yang Long Tingting talked about many things about the divine desolate, including the matter of the man-eater. Therefore, Yang Long Tingting immediately became nervous. Don't be afraid. They won't dare to make a move. They should be trying to get close to your two races. Qin Yun can sense that the aura in front of them is very peaceful. Then we can go in peace. Yang Long Tingting nodded. Qin Yun stopped using invisibility technique and ran over with Yang Long Tingting. The Heavenly Lion race and the Sun Dragon race are truly very strong. After all, they are creatures from the core region of the Myriad Realms Divine Sunday. They are innately very powerful. The Nine Heavens Divine Demon and Nine Heavens Divine race are at most greedy and want to eat the Heavenly Lion and Sun Dragon, but they don't dare to do anything. Once these two races are angered, if the Myriad Realms Divine Sun unleashes its might, their Nine Heavens Demon race and Nine Heavens Divine race won't be able to survive in the Divine Desolate. Seeing her brother and sister, the lively girl Yang Long Tingting excitedly jumped over and shouted, "I'm here! I'm finally here! Brother and sister, I made you wait for a long time." The 11 handsome and beautiful men and women of the Sun Dragon race all shook their heads and laughed. 12, you're too slow. It's a good thing there's nothing to eat here. Otherwise, you'd be so angry that you'd cry again. A white-clothed youth with a rather imposing appearance said with a hearty laugh. With one look, it is obvious that he is the big brother. Big brother, my luck is bad. I bumped into something, that's why I'm so slow. Yang Long Tingting pouted and said, "If I didn't bump into something, my speed would not be slower than yours." Oh, that's right. Who is this uncle? The one who spoke is a beautiful woman wearing a red dress. Her almond-shaped eyes are sizing up Qin Yun. "This is my big cousin. He's mute and honest," Yang Long Tingting said. "His spirit is not very good right now." Chapter 2463. This big cousin of yours doesn't seem to be very strong. When the fat man called Fat Meow smiled, his face did indeed look like a fat white cat's face. After Fatty Meow approached Qin Yun, Yang Long Tingting immediately stood over with her hands on her hips. Her watery round eyes glared at Fatty Meow. Yang Long Tingting's round face is filled with ferocity. She lightly shouted, "Fatty Meow, do you believe that I won't beat you into a pig head? Little 12, what's the matter with your big cousin? Where did he come from?" Sun Dragon Race's big brother is also very puzzled. "Don't worry about it. Just know that he is my big cousin," Yang Long Tingting said. "Oh, that's right. Where are the elders?" She looked all around. Her gaze stopped at Nine Heavens Divine Demon and Nine Heavens Divine Race people. Her eyes are filled with vigilance and disgust. Human-eating devils are notorious. She doesn't want to be together with them. The elders told us to stay here and wait for them to return. That big brother said. Then who are they? I keep feeling that they are not good people. Yang Long Tingting looked at the group of human-eating devils and asked. She did not expose them as human-eating devils on the spot. This is what Qin Yun warned her before. They are all from Myriad Heavens, Divine Desolate. Fatty Meow said. A youth from Nine Heavens Divine Race promptly said, "We are not from Myriad Heavens Divine Desolate. We are from Nine Heavens." That mute is from Myriad Heavens Divine Desolate. He is the idiot we were talking about. Yang Long Tingting immediately became furious and lightly shouted, "Who are you calling an idiot? You bunch of dog eyes looking down on people." Qin Yun immediately grabbed Yang Long Tingting and pulled her to his side. The native humans of Myriad Heavens Divine Desolate are all weak idiots. A Nine Heavens Divine Demon with a head full of silver hair loudly mocked. Your Sun Dragon race is one of the strongest races. You shouldn't mix with those idiots. That youth from Nine Heavens Divine Race said. You're the idiots. Yang Long Tingting is so angry that her eyes are moist. When she is angry, she will cry. Sun Dragon Race's big brother solemnly shouted, "Stop arguing. Yang Long is far-sighted. I advise you to leave that fool behind. Bringing him along will only drag us down." That Nine Heavens Divine Demon looked at Qin Yun and licked his lips. It is clear that he wants to eat Qin Yun. In fact, this group of man-eating demons all wanted to eat the sun dragon and heavenly lion, but they didn't dare to, so they had been craving for them for a long time. If Qin Yun was alone, they would capture him and eat him to satisfy their cravings. The fat cat laughed and said, "Our heavenly lion race's clan emperor said that we should try our best to integrate into the divine desolate. To be able to meet a human from the divine desolate, I am quite happy. Not bad." Yang Long Yuan said, "As one of the divine sun totem race, our duty is to protect the divine desolate. Interacting with the humans of the divine wilderness is also something we need to do." Yang Long Yuanda was the big brother, and his words carried a lot of weight. When he led the team here, the elders had instructed him. Yang Long Tingting fiercely glared at the group of man-eating demons, then pulled Qin Yun's arm and stood beside him. "Up to you. If you bring along such a fool and get dragged down, then it's your own fault," that Nine Heavens Divine Demon Team leader said with sneer. "Shifu, don't worry about us," the fat cat said with smile. "My heavenly lion race has no problem protecting a little saint god, not to mention the sun dragon race." Nine Heavens Demon Race Team leader is called Shifu, which means that he is a combination of snake and bat. Ugly, he had the face of a snake spirit, and his entire person was filled with evil energy. Nine Heavens God Race Team leader is called Gao Xinlei. He is a tall and sturdy youth who looks very fierce. When he looks at Qin Yun, it is like a huge beast staring at its prey. Qin Yun is not afraid of the group of man-eating demons from Nine Heavens God Race and Nine Heavens Demon Race. Although they have more than 20 people, they don't have a single divine heaven monarch. One must know that the blue heaven-locking chain hanging on Qin Yun's neck can send these man-eating demons to heaven in an instant. What made Qin Yun surprised is that the fat cat from Heavenly Lion Race is actually the captain of the Heavenly Lion Squad. This fat cat doesn't look like a captain at all. He is all smiles and fat. He doesn't have the slightest bit of fighting strength. Qin Yun naturally won't judge a person by appearance. This kind of harmless-looking guy is often the most terrifying. At this moment, he carefully sized up the fat cat again. The large golden chain hanging on the fat cat's neck is even bigger than Qin Yun's heaven-locking chain. Furthermore, there are 2 golden bracelets on the fat cat's wrists. The most embarrassing thing is that the fat cat's fingers are full of golden rings. Furthermore, the fat cat's big belly is tied with a golden belt. The belt buckle in the middle of the belt is very large and very dazzling. If this guy were to wear a pair of sunglasses, he would look very much like a dirty big shot. "Big cousin, you are wearing a blue chain around your neck. Is there anything special about it?" The fat cat has been paying attention to Qin Yun since the beginning because Qin Yun is like him, wearing a large chain around his neck. Qin Yun shook his head and did not say anything. Because he is now pretending to be mute, he can't speak. The fat cat laughed and patted Qin Yun's shoulder. He mischievously laughed and said, "Others say that the big chain around my neck is very stupid. They say that there is absolutely no one who would wear it like this." Today, I have finally met a kindred spirit. We are all bosom friends. Qin Yun revealed a polite smile. He also found it very funny in his heart. Yang Long said, "Captain Fatty, no matter what, I feel that the big golden chain around your neck is very ugly." "Fatty meow, my big cousin's chain is blue. Yours is golden. It's too rustic. The taste is different," Yang Long Tingting said with smile. The fat cat disagreed and said with smile, "It's good that I like it. I will walk my own path and let others say what they want. Besides, a human from Heavenly Divine Desolate wearing this shows that this is a fashion trend in Heavenly Divine Desolate. You country bumpkins who can't keep up with the trend, you won't understand even if I say more." When Qin Yun was traveling around Earth, he had seen glasses worn on the eyes, especially black sunglasses. They were very cool. He quickly took out some iron bars and 2 black transparent crystal pieces. He quickly made a pair of sunglasses and handed it to the fat cat. Everyone felt very curious as they looked at the thing that Qin Yun handed to the fat cat. The fat cat was stunned for a moment. After receiving it, he immediately realized what it was used for. He quickly put it on his eyes and took out a mirror to look at himself. Then he happily laughed and said, "This is a good thing. This thing is simply made for me." Now the fat cat looks very cool, giving off the feeling of a black boss. Big cousin, don't worry. If you encounter any danger, I, fat brother, will definitely protect you. The fat cat patted Qin Yun's shoulder with a smile. Qin Yun only smiled and did not say anything. Waiting here is not a solution. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yang Long Tingting said, "The elders are really too much. Making us wait here is really a waste of time. Let's go and take a look." Just now, a loud sound came from that side. I wanted to go over and take a look, the fat cat said. With that said, Qin Yun followed beside Yang Long Tingting as they ran with a large group. The direction they are heading is also Yushang Yun's direction. Little 12, your big cousin's speed is not bad. He could keep up with us. The Sun Dragon race's gorgeous red-dressed woman arrived beside Yang Long Tingting, glanced at Qin Yun, and whispered, "Second sister, big cousin can come to the heavenly divine moon. How can he be bad?" Yang Long Tingting said with smile. Qin Yun is always paying attention to the more than 20 man-eating devils. After running for a while, a trembling sound came from ahead. Soon after, a strong vibration wave came from the ground. Someone is fighting ahead. It seems like Divine Heaven Lord is fighting, the fat cat said with a serious expression. He suddenly stopped and took off his sunglasses. His narrowed eyes suddenly opened and looked ahead. Everyone stopped as well. If it is Divine Heaven Lord's battle, then it is best for them not to get involved. Let's wait for the elders here. On the Heavenly Lion Race's side, a petite woman said in a low voice, "The elders don't want us to go over because of safety considerations. We came here to gain experience and gain experience. It doesn't matter if we encounter some danger." The second sister beside Yang Long Tingting said, "What if it is too dangerous and we lose our lives?" The petite woman from the Heavenly Lion Race said, "Truly cowardly. Your Heavenly Lion Race should change your name to Heavenly Cat Race." A delicate and pretty man from the Sun Dragon Race laughed. Suddenly, Qin Yun sensed a very strong aura rushing over. Qin Yun suddenly grabbed Yang Long Tingting's hand and pulled her to his side. Then he released an extremely strong body protecting dragon aura barrier. This is body protecting dragon aura barrier? This kind of strength, it should have at least cultivated to the 10th level, right? A sun dragon said in shock. Body protecting dragon aura barrier is the most basic of the dragon race. There are a total of 18 levels. To be able to cultivate to the 10th level is not easy, let alone a human. Danger! Qin Yun did not open his mouth, but his voice came from his body. At this moment, the snake bat from the 9 Heaven Demon race shouted, "Don't be afraid, it's my 9 Heaven Demon race's elder." Sure enough, a 9 Heaven Demon race's Divine Heaven Monarch flew over. That Divine Heaven Monarch's head is broken and bleeding. His head is a sinister cockroach head, and his body is a human body. That black cockroach head has long hair fluttering in the wind. With one look, one can tell that this is the heavily injured Divine Heaven Monarch. "Cockroach Heavenly Monarch, what's going on?" the snake bat asked. Cockroach Heavenly Monarch did not answer. Instead, he looked at the youngsters from the Sun Dragon Race and Heavenly Lion Race and shouted, "Eat them! What are you doing?" After Yang Long reacted, he let out a roar. His body's dragon might is vast and mighty. He pushed his palms forward and released 2 golden roaring dragons. Roar! Boom! Boom! The 2 dragons instantly attacked Cockroach Heavenly Monarch's body and let out explosive roars. Cockroach Heavenly Monarch was sent flying. "Attack!" The snake bat also shouted at this moment. "Kill them and eat your fill." 9 Heaven God Race's Captain Gao Xianlei took out 2 large sabers and charged towards Fatty Meow and the others. Chapter 2464. Just as the snake bat rushed over, the beautiful second sister, holding a fiery red dragon head round shield, suddenly flashed over, stood in front of Yang Long Tingting, and attacked the snake bat shield. "Damn slut!" The serpent bat's head was fiercely hit by the dragon head sculpture on the shield and was sent flying. It can't help but curse loudly. Little 12, you two hide far away. Leave this to us. Second sister looked at the serpent bat and shouted, Bad insect, if there's anything, come at me. Second sister, you must be careful. Yang Long Tingting is very worried. She looked at Qin Yun, hoping that Qin Yun can help her sister at the crucial moment. Qin Yun pulled Yang Long Tingting and hid at the side. His attention is mainly on the cockroach Heavenly Monarch. Fat Meow and Yang Long Yuanda. These two captains are not to be trifled with. They joined hands to attack the cockroach Heavenly Monarch. Second sister is fighting against the serpent bat. The serpent bat is no match for her. However, another Ninth Heaven's God Beast came over to help. Two Ninth Heaven's God Beasts were able to fight on par with Second Sister. Nine Heaven Divine Race's Captain Gao Xianlei is also fighting 2 against 1, attacking a tall youth from the Heavenly Lion race. Qin Yun did not make a move because he is worried that there are other Shin Tian monarchs lying in ambush nearby. The cockroach Heavenly Monarch suddenly came over with injuries on its body. It means that there are other Shin Tian monarchs nearby. The cockroach Heavenly Monarch suddenly wants to eat people because it wants to quickly recover from its injuries. Qin Yun is secretly alarmed. One must know that Ninth Heaven Divine Demons have very strong recovery power. It is very difficult to seriously injure them. But now, the cockroach Heavenly Monarch wants to eat people to recover from its injuries. To be able to injure a Ninth Heaven Divine Demon like Shun Tian Monarch, it must be very strong. Slut, if it wasn't because it's inconvenient now, after I take you down, I would definitely fiercely fuck you 300 times. What a pity. I can only kill you and then eat you. Serpent Bat said with a regretful expression. Second sister Yang Long Wan Fei is very strong, but she is besieged by 2 Ninth Heaven Divine Demons. Moreover, those 2 Ninth Heaven Divine Demons have very strong recovery power. Especially Serpent Bat, to be a captain, his strength is definitely not weak. Another Ninth Heaven Divine Demon has a toad head. His mouth is spewing black poison mist that enveloped Yang Long Wan Fei inside. The other members of the Heavenly Lion race and the Sun Dragon race were all facing very strong opponents, so they couldn't care about Yang Long Wan Fei. Big brother. Yang Long Tingting looked at the black poisonous mist in front of her and heard Yang Long Wan Fei shout. At the same time, Qin Yun brought Yang Long and Tingting into the black poison mist. Yang Long Wan Fei was poisoned, and her divine power suddenly weakened. Fortunately, her defense was extremely strong, and she had red dragon scales as armor. Her body protecting dragon handle was not weak either. The toad head opened its mouth again, wanting to spit venom towards Yang Long Wan Fei, but just as it opened its mouth, a blue light suddenly shot over. The lock chain, Heaven Long. One end of the heaven locking chain became very sharp and pierced through the toad head's mouth. Then Nether Sun's devouring power circulated and sealed the toad head's recovery power. Although Yang Long Wan Fei didn't look back, she knew that the blue chain was released by her cousin. She is shocked in her heart. She used her large sword to hack at the toad head. At the same time, she used her red shield to block the serpent bat's poison. The toad head's defense is very strong. It has a blue armor protecting its body. Wan Fei was unable to break the armor earlier. But now, the toad head is like a piece of paper. It has been chopped into pieces by her sword. While Wan Fei is still in shock, Qin Yun's heaven-locking chain suddenly attacked the serpent bat like a lightning bolt. Serpent Bat quickly dodged and cursed in his heart. He never expected that his big cousin would be so dreadful. The heaven-locking chain is like a lightning bolt, chasing after the serpent bat at a very fast speed. The serpent bat did not even have time to run out of the poison mist. The heaven-locking chain pierced through the back of his head, and then he was dragged by Qin Yun. When the serpent bat's head was pierced, he felt his divine power being crazily devoured. When the serpent bat was dragged by Qin Yun, most of the divine power in his body has been sucked out. Qin Yun's thigh, which is wearing the heaven-trampling divine boots, vigorously kicked the serpent bat's body. With a loud explosion, the serpent bat's body instantly burst into flames. Wan Fei gasped for breath. Her face is filled with disbelief as she looked at Qin Yun. He actually killed the serpent bat in 2 or 3 moves. This kind of strength is comparable to Shun Tian Monarch. Qin Yun took 2 steps forward, grabbed Wan Fei's wrist, and said in low voice, "Relax. I will help you suck out the poison." Just as Wan Fei relaxed, the poison in her body was immediately sucked out. "All right, you go help others. I am worried that there are other Shintian monarchs nearby. I need to be on guard," Qin Yun said in low voice. Wan Fei's beautiful face is filled with shock as she stared at Qin Yun. "Quickly go," Qin Yun urged. Wan Fei immediately rushed out of the poison mist to help others. And Qin Yun brought Yang Long Tingting and maintained a distance from the battlefield. "Big cousin, thank you so much." Although Yang Long Tingting knew that Qin Yun is very strong, she never expected that Qin Yun would be able to kill this powerful Ninth Heaven Divine Demon in just a few moves. Qin Yun has a lot of experience in dealing with Ninth Heaven Divine Demons and Ninth Heaven Divine Race people. His Heaven-Locking Chain and Nether Sun are specially used to restrain these 2 powerful races. If not for the chaotic battle ahead, he would have used the God King Spear to shoot a few times and cleanly wipe out the group of man-eating devils. Of course, the movement would also be very big, and it would disturb the Shun Tian monarchs ahead. There are many Shun Tian monarchs fighting. It is unknown why they are fighting. Qin Yun still took out the God King Spear and turned it into a black pistol. He held it in his hand and waited for an opportunity to shoot. Cockroach Heavenly Monarch is seriously injured, so he is now being suppressed by Yang Long and Fat Meow, causing him to be very irritated and constantly let out all kinds of strange cries. After this cockroach head shouted a few times, his body trembled and released a berserk Shun Tian Monarch divine power wave. Fat Meow and Yang Long Yuanda felt intense pain all over their body and were sent flying. "If I eat these 2 guys, I will be able to recover immediately." After Heavenly Monarch Cockroach sent Fat Meow and Yang Long Yuanda flying, he arrived in front of Qin Yun and Yang Long Tingting in the blink of an eye. "Little 12, Yang Long Yuan shouted anxiously and immediately flew over. Fat Meow also suddenly transformed into a mighty golden heavenly lion, roaring and flying. Heavenly Monarch Cockroach opened his big, ugly, and disgusting mouth and bit towards Qin Yun and Yang Long Tingting. Qin Yun suddenly raised his hand and fired a bullet from the God King Spear in his hand. Bang! The bullet entered the Heavenly Monarch Cockroach's body and exploded. The moment Qin Yun fired, he used the 9 Sun Divine Spirit to release the Sun Heavenly Shield to block the aftermath of the explosion. Fat Meow and Yang Long Yuanda rushed over and saw the Heavenly Monarch Cockroach explode. They are shocked and were also sent flying by the explosion. Fortunately, the explosion flames are related to Divine Sunday. They are Divine Sun Totem race, so they won't be harmed. Earlier, Yang Long Wan Fei was also extremely worried, but after seeing the explosion, she felt relieved. She knows how powerful Qin Yun is. The Heavenly Monarch Cockroach Heavenly Monarch was actually killed. Fat Meow and the others saw that Qin Yun used the thing in his hand to release energy to kill the Heavenly Monarch Cockroach. Fat Meow and Yang Long Yuanda, the 2 captains, are now free to deal with the other man-eating devils. Hand over the 9 heavens divine demon to me, Qin Yun suddenly shouted. This damn fake mute. One of the 9 heavens divine demon cursed at Qin Yun. Their Heavenly Monarch Cockroach was killed just like that. When Qin Yun saw that the 9 heavens divine demon was alone, he immediately fired a shot from the God King Spear and killed that 9 heavens divine demon. His current bullets are second class, specially used to deal with Dao God Realm experts. What is that thing? It looks so impressive. Fat Meow is still wearing the sunglasses that Qin Yun gave him. He only felt that Qin Yun's action of firing the gun earlier was extremely cool. After the heavenly monarch cockroach was killed, the battle situation changed greatly. Those 9 heavens divine demons were killed by Qin Yun using the God King spear. Those 9 heavens divine race people were also quickly exterminated. Big cousin, what the hell is that thing? It's too godly. It can actually kill heavenly monarch. After the battle ended, Fat Meow hastily ran in front of Qin Yun. This is my ancestral divine tool, Super Cannon Sniper, Qin Yun said with smile, and then put away the God King spear. No wonder a sacred god like you dares to wander around. It turns out that there is such a powerful guy. Fat Meow is very envious. He also wishes that he had a Super Cannon Sniper. Big cousin, thank you very much just now. Yanglong Wanfei walked over and smiled gently. Little 12 meeting you is really good luck. Yanglong Yuan laughed loudly and said, Big cousin said that girls who love to laugh won't have bad luck. Yanglong Tingting giggled and said, Qin Yun said, don't you know anything about 9 heavens divine race and 9 heavens demon race? They are infamous man-eating devils. We have never heard of them. Fat Meow said, Big cousin, quickly tell us about them. I thought you guys had some kind of cooperation. That's why I didn't say anything before. After that, Qin Yun simply explained about the man-eating devils. After the youngsters of Heavenly Lion race and Sun Dragon race heard this, they all blamed themselves because they were too careless. They said I was an idiot before because they wanted you to drive me away. Then they would send people to capture me and eat me. Qin Yun said, they don't dare to eat you guys because they are afraid that they can't beat you. In front of them is Heavenly Monarch's battlefield. At this moment, 2 powerful auras suddenly attacked. It is Heavenly Lion and Sun Dragon. The elders are here. Fat Meow shouted in pleasant surprise. Qin Yun's expression changed because other than the elders of Sun Dragon race and Heavenly Lion race, there are also a few unfamiliar and powerful auras. They are not from 9 heavens divine race and 9 heavens demon race. Not good, let's run. Qin Yun suddenly shouted. Little demons, why are you here? Quickly run. A middle-aged man's shout suddenly came from the distance. Don't the elders know that we are here? Why did they bring danger here? Fat Meow grumbled in a low voice and then started running. Chapter 2465. Qin Yun could have run very fast, but he suddenly realized that he knows a middle-aged man from the Sun Dragon race. That middle-aged man is the Yanglong Lingyu he met in the core region of the ancestral god Sun. Yanglong Lingyu is an elder of the Sun Dragon race. On the way here, Qin Yun was wondering if Yanglong Lingyu would come. He never expected that he would come. Ting Ting, follow your second sister and big brother. I'll go take a look at the situation behind us. Qin Yun said in low voice. Big cousin, it's very dangerous. Yanglong Tingting shouted worriedly, but Qin Yun suddenly disappeared. This big cousin is truly courageous. Fat Meow said. Qin Yun slowed down and arrived beside a middle-aged man. Heavenly Lion race and Sun Dragon race's other heavenly monarchs are scattered everywhere. They also maintained a certain speed and did not immediately rush in front of those youngsters. They have to block the powerful enemies behind them, so they can't run too fast. Elder Lingyu. Qin Yun secretly transmitted his voice to Yanglong Lingyu. I am Qin Yun. Qin Yun is now disguised as a wanderer. Yanglong Lingyu did not recognize him. Only after hearing Qin Yun's voice transmission did he react. Little brother Qin, it's you. Yanglong Lingyu also transmitted his voice in shock. Why are you here? Such a big thing has happened in the heavens divine moon. Of course I have to come. What happened? Who is chasing you? Qin Yun asked. A group of people who claim to be from the Bright Moon sect. Yanglong Lingyu said. They will be the rulers of the heavens divine moon. Maybe in the future, they will even ascend to the myriad realms divine sun and attack the core region. What is the background of this Bright Moon sect? How can they be so powerful? Qin Yun knew that a very strong race had appeared on the heavens divine moon. It should be a powerful race that just appeared. It seems like they were born from the heavens, divine moon. Yang Long Ling Yu looked behind and said, they are still chasing. These guys are truly deranged. Elder Ling Yu, how much do you know about them? Qin Yun asked. This Bright Moon sect did not call themselves a powerful race, but rather called themselves Bright Moon sect. If the Bright Moon sect and the Divine Moon race were to fight over the heavens Divine Moon sect, Qin Yun would have to face them in the future. What I know so far is that these guys have the characteristics of descendants of the divine sun god. Their souls are very difficult to destroy, and they can be quickly reborn. Yang Long Ling Yu's expression became very grave. The strongest thing about the descendants of the divine sun god was their souls. Those souls had very strong penetrative power. If their physical bodies were destroyed, as long as their souls were still around, they could quickly return to the Myriad Realm's divine sun and then use the Myriad Realm's divine sun to rebuild their physical bodies. Inside Qin Yun's soul creation heavenly cauldron, there are the souls of the descendants of the divine sun. Until now, he has not thought of a way to destroy those souls. He can only seal them inside the soul creation heavenly cauldron. The powerful races that appeared in the divine moon of the heavens were actually similar to the descendants of the divine sun. This made it very difficult to kill them. Little brother Qin, don't worry. This guy from the Bright Moon sect wasn't as cruel as the descendants of the divine sun sect. It's mainly because the Nine Heavens demon race and Nine Heavens god race made a move first and infuriated them. We were dragged down by them. Yang Long Ling Yu said. Were they the ones who injured Heaven Lord Cockroach? Asked Qin Yun. That's right. What about the Heavenly Lord Cockroach? Yang Long Ling Yu asked. Did you see him? I saw him. He even wanted to eat the juniors of your two races to speed up his recovery. Qin Yun said, why are you together with these ogres? I told you before that these two races are ogres. Of course, the Nine Heavens God race, led by Jiang Jiuchuan, is an exception. This is our negligence. We were originally with them and wanted to understand the situation here through them. Yang Long Ling Yu also blamed himself. When he saw that Yang Long Yuanda and the others were fine, he knew that the Heavenly Lord Cockroach must have been killed by Qin Yun. Thank you so much this time. Those little guys are really lucky to meet you. Yang Long Ling Yu is very grateful. Little brother Qin, you are truly worthy of being chosen by the Myriad Realm's divine sun. Don't say this. You must remember to be on guard against the ogres. All right, don't tell anyone about me coming to the divine moon of the heavens. I have many enemies here. Qin Yun warned. And I know. Yang Long Ling Yu nodded. They ran for a while, but the Bright Moon sect's people are still chasing them. Qin Yun learned from Yang Long Ling Yu that the Bright Moon sect's people look no different from ordinary people. And their strength, other than the fact that their souls are hard to destroy and they have a strong regenerative ability, they also have a very strong mental attack. The mental attack they release is just like the Divine Moonstorm from before. It is impossible to defend against and will cause a splitting headache, unless one hides in something. Qin Yun is not surprised. He suspects that the humans of the Bright Moon sect were created through the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern Box. It is the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern Box that Yu Shangyun lent out. This is not the way to go. I'll go meet them. You guys run first. We'll contact each other again. Qin Yun passed the sound transmission divine pearl to Yang Long Ling Yu and said, I will contact you through this. Little brother Qin, danger. Yang Long Ling Yu shouted. Don't worry. Nothing will happen to me. After Qin Yun finished speaking, his figure flashed and he rushed backwards. When Yang Long Ling Yu thought of Qin Yun's strange divine power, he suddenly felt a lot more at ease. However, he is still somewhat worried and looked back from time to time. When Qin Yun arrived at the back, he saw 10 people. They're all wearing silver robes, and there's a crescent moon pattern on their chest and back. The silver robes on their bodies flickered and reflected a multicolored light that could make one's soul tremble. Is this the Bright Moon sect? Why is their moon pattern a crescent moon? Qin Yun felt that it is somewhat strange. The 10 people of the Bright Moon sect are all middle-aged men. Although their appearances are ordinary, their ice-cold expressions made them look very powerful. When they saw Qin Yun, they suddenly stopped. Sun Soul? You actually have a Sun Soul. Who are you? A middle-aged man asked loudly. He is the leader of this small team. Qingyun knows why Yanglong Lingyu and the others ran away. These 10 people are all very strong divine heavenly monarchs, and Yanglong Lingyu and the others only have a total of 4 divine heavenly monarchs. The heaven-trampling divine boots that Qingyun is wearing is a Sun Soul, but very few people can see through it. The people of the Bright Moon sect can actually see through it. Everyone, this must be a misunderstanding. The ones you were chasing just now are the Heavenly Lion race and the Sun Dragon race. They are all creatures born from the myriad realms' divine sunland. Qingyun said. Then, this is not a misunderstanding. The totem beast race within the divine sun is our Bright Moon sect's competitor. The middle-aged man sneered. You have a Sun Soul. Looks like your luck is not bad. However, aren't you being too arrogant? Do you really think you can stop us by yourself? Of course, Qingyun did not think of defeating these 10 divine heavenly monarchs of the Bright Moon sect. He only came to take a look and delay them in passing. The 10 divine heavenly monarchs of the Bright Moon sect also saw that Qingyun has a Sun Soul. That's why they stopped. This meant that they had the intention to snatch the heaven-trampling divine boots. Qingyun released the 9-sun heaven-raising pagoda and entered it. He said, Of course I can't stop you, but if you want to snatch my Sun Soul, you won't even have a chance. The 9-sun heaven-raising pagoda was turned into a large square house by Qingyun. Furthermore, it is pitch black, unlike the tall square building from before. You should be a human from the divine desolate. You insignificant beings that are as numerous as ants. How can you be so arrogant? As the leader spoke, he took out a crescent moon-shaped silver saber. Although this crescent moon-shaped saber is curved, it is as tall as a person. It flickered with a strong silver light. That kind of light is like a divine moon storm. Qingyun thought of the Nether Soul's sacred blade. When this blade attacked, it could also stab at a person's soul. The Nether Soul sacred blade has already fused with the myriad heaven divine saber, so it still has the ability to attack the soul. However, this requires Qingyun's Nether Moon to be even stronger. Otherwise, it would be easily blocked by others. Clang! The leader's saber struck the outer wall of the 9-sun heaven-raising pagoda, producing a crisp sound. The ground also slightly trembled. The power of this saber strike was extremely great, but it did not leave a single mark. Qingyun sat on a chair on the first floor with his legs crossed. He looked at the Bright Moon sect people outside and said with a smile, Please continue. This pagoda is no ordinary object. The material comes from the core of the sun. After many years of tempering, we indeed can't break it. The leader sneered and said, But don't be complacent. Don't even think about coming out. I can control this pagoda to float and fly away from the divine moon. Although the speed is not fast, I can still leave. Qingyun laughed again and said, As long as I return to the divine desolate land, I will no longer be afraid of you. We are not trying to steal your Sun Soul. We just want to borrow it. The leader said again, If you lend it to us, we will also give you a corresponding repayment. Qingyun chuckled and said, Really? Although I'm an honest person and have been cheated many times, your words sound like there is no guarantee at all. We are disciples of the Bright Moon sect. Remember the 3 words, Bright Moon sect. This is an existence that will dominate the world in the future. The leader said, You insignificant human, you know nothing about the true heaven and earth. Our Bright Moon sect can lead you to dominate the world. Then do you know about the descendants of the divine sun? Qingyun suddenly asked. Of course I know. This group of undying ants will definitely become my slaves. The leader did not say that he could kill the descendants of the divine sun. He only said that he would make them slaves. From this, it could be seen that even the Bright Moon sect did not have the confidence to kill the descendants of the divine sun. Then what do you want my Sun Soul for? Qingyun asked again. He still had not figured out whether the Bright Moon sect was righteous or evil. Of course, it is to dominate the world. The leader said loudly, As long as you contribute, after our Bright Moon sect leader dominates the world, The rewards you will receive will be 10 times, 100 times greater. To Qin Yun, these words sounded like they were drawing a big picture. Qin Yun took out the soul-chasing talisman and looked at the direction where Yushang Yun was. She had not changed. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.